than $3 a pill. If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
800-218-6473. 800-218-6473. 800-218-6473. That's 800-218-6473.
MoJo 50. The question isn't who's going to let us. The question is who's going to stop us. Adjust your mojo now. Thank you. The mothership has landed. Doc Thompson. Brad Staggs. The mighty MoJo 50.
Well, let's see. Justin Amash or Tyrion Lannister? I don't know what's up Justin Amash's butt, but
what a butt.
Yeah, that's we'll talk about Tyrion in a second. But first, what is up with Justin Amash? And I think the only thing that
trying to make a name for himself.
I think I was going to say that he may be throwing his name in the ring for the
Republican,
but that
side,
makes no sense. That makes no. I mean, Trump is going to be the nominee. So what? I mean, unless there's some sort of a coup behind the scenes, which wouldn't surprise me. I mean, this is very Game of Thrones-esque.
It is. Justin Amash probably was the one who instigated this coup with his comments.
He believes that Donald Trump has engaged in impeachable conduct, becoming the first politician of his party to call for removing the president from his party. He says that Attorney General William Barr deliberately misled the public over the actual content and tenor of the special counsel Robert Mueller's report on Russian interference and aimed at tipping the election to Trump. Now, Mr. Amash over the weekend sent out several tweets. Few members of Congress even read Mueller's report, he says. He identified multiple examples of conduct satisfying all of the elements of obstruction of justice. And again, I ask you, if there was no crime, how can there be obstruction of justice? This is how, I mean, any thinking person would look at this and say this is a bunch of crap. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people in the country who are not thinking. Undoubtedly, any person who is not the president of the United States would be indicted based on such evidence, he said. I don't even know what you say about this.
Well, the guys, I mean, everybody continues to just dig. Instead of just trying to make the country better, everybody's just trying to dig into it to try to find what they can find to create havoc in the country.
They're doing a good job at that. They are certainly doing a fabulous job at wreaking havoc on the political system, dividing the country. They're doing a great job at dividing the country. A fabulous. If that is their goal, they're doing an amazing job at that. Even Pelosi, talked about the dangers of impeachment moving forward about that. I don't know. I have no idea what in the hell is in his. And then there's Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney came out and was.
Mitt Romney's not a Trump fan at all.
No, he never has been. He was. He said. Where was the? He said it. He found the contents of the Mueller report troubling, unfortunate, and distressing. But he said he did not think it was time for Congress to call for impeachment. Well, then you have that. I don't think there is a full element which you would need to prove the obstruction of justice, he said on State of the Union. This is bizarre. This is nothing but bizarre. You have, I think you're right. I think that these are just guys who want to make a name for themselves, who are for some reason deciding that they want to move upward in whatever hierarchy there is in the Republican Party.
Well, they continue to give Democratic Congress a mouthpiece, and
yes,
and they're going to do everything they can to either impeach Trump or create havoc so that there is a question in someone's mind when they go to the polls.
Yeah, that's it. And the thing is, well, they're never going to rattle the president's base. He will always have that base. But it's the people who are on the fence that they're aiming at. And maybe they must have some internal polling that says that there are a growing number of people on the fence. And that's the only thing that makes any sense for these guys to come out like this. Because all that they're doing is empowering the Democrat Party.
Correct.
That's all they're doing. If that's their goal, they're doing a fabulous job. Good job, guys. We'll continue to follow that as it unfolds. It's worse than a soap opera. It really is. It's ridiculous. By the way, we, on the other hand, here at Mojo 50, are doing our best to create a cohesive environment, a family environment, if you will. And that is why the newly redesigned MoJo50.com includes a members area, which in and of itself deserves a bell. You are all members, but you have to sign up for it. So they sign up by going to MoJo50.com, and
let me say this, Brad, it is free.
It is free. Well, remember, you get what you pay for.
It is free, and we're giving them some good stuff. I mean, quite honestly, you do not have to be a member of the website to watch Mojo 50 TV yet. Mm-hmm. But if you want to become a member of the new website, you just simply go out there. Up above Doc's head on the right-hand side is a login button. There's also a members link at the top. You can click on that. You can sign in. Literally, this is the same type of registration that you've done before on the website. This just allows you a different level of access. Plus, there's an email that went out last night to all of the followers and listeners of the website. If you didn't get that email, please check your spam folder. That also talks about the new Wix.com app.
Because you could have won $1 million.
You could have.
Not from us, but if you check there is a chance in your spam folder that you got an email from somebody giving you $1 million.
That's right. So
not from us. It is not from us. I'll tell you that right now. But it could be for somebody else.
Because we couldn't get it. We couldn't raise it.
No, we don't have $1 million to give you. But
no. So all the feedback we've gotten on the website, thank you so much. It's taken two and a half weeks, 3 weeks before we got that up. But we've redesigned it, moved it over to a different location. We appreciate your patience while we set that up. But one of the other major announcements that we're making this morning, Brad.
You're transitioning. Are you telling that story already?
I think we're all transitioning.
Uh-huh. Actually, we are. We're going to get off the we're getting off Facebook. I mean, it really makes no sense for us to stay there. They're continuing to throttle us. They're continuing to really they're silencing us. It's amazing the number of people we see are not, and I don't even know how they do that. Did they just block our feed from some people's
I think so.
News feeds?
I think what's happening is, something happens in the feed, either that or we're not following the algorithm correctly, and the notifications aren't going out. And so the people who show up at our website, I mean, we've got, 5,500 followers on our page, and we've got 10,000 on the cartel and another 1,000, multiple thousands elsewhere. For us to have 15 viewers right now is a little bit ridiculous. And that's because
either that or this show just sucks.
No, it's not that. It's just that we're being blocked out. And so I think what you're going to find here in a very few minutes, if we do, are we doing this today?
Why not?
Yeah, let's do it.
Might as well start it.
All right, Facebook. If you want to continue to watch what's going on the show this morning, for those of you on iHeartRadio, of course, we're not leaving iHeartRadio. You can stay right where you're at. But if you're watching us on Facebook, you're going to need to go to Mojo 50 TV because the Facebook feed's going down.
Yeah. That deserves a bell right there. So yeah, I mean, it's just we got to funnel. We got to start funneling people over, and it's and if you have suggestions for making the live stream on the website better and the chat area better, just email them to us.
Well, it's a much better video over there anyways.
Right.
Plus, we don't get blocked.
I look thinner.
We don't get blocked over there.
We have the thin filter on. We don't get blocked. There's so many reasons to go over to the website. So go to MoJo 50 and then click on MoJo TV. Do they have to? Well, do they have to click on? They don't have to be a member right now to watch MoJo.
Not at all. No, you can just go to MoJo50.com, click on MoJo 50 TV at the top, and there we are.
Right. So there it is.
It's simple.
Put it in.
And you can do it on your phone. Do it on your mobile device.
Not while you're driving.
Yeah.
If you're driving, don't just wait until it's not that important to do right now. But, at some point today, don't forget to do it. While you're there, registered to win the gun from Tar River Arms. We are giving away it's the Smith & Wesson, right? The Smith & Wesson 380.
380, yeah. That's correct. The bodyguard.
Mm-hmm. And I was just...
we're giving that away this Friday, by the way.
Is it this Friday? How are we choosing the winner?
We don't know the answer to that
That's
yet.
a great answer. I love that answer. So
it'll be sometime on Friday.
We will have a llama choose a certain blade of grass out of a field of grass, and if your name happens to be written on that field of that blade of grass, you'll win. I think that's just as good as any.
Yeah.
We may just throw the names into a hat. I mean, first we'll need a hat. And then somebody's going to have to sit down and write all the names on a piece of paper, so I don't think we'll do it that way either, but we'll figure something out. If you just can't wait until Friday, go to tarriverarms.com, traguns.com. And I would stop into the clearance section because the gun they're featuring this week, the Springfield Armory XDS Mod 2, it's a 45 caliber carry pistol. It's on sale for $489, and they have one of them. So if you are looking for a concealed carry weapon, this is could be the gun for you.
Wow, that's a nice looking gun.
It is. It really is slick looking. And the Springfield Armory makes great stuff. And of course, see,
look at that Taurus! Holy crap!
I know. That's the trouble with going to TRA Guns is you find one you like, and then you scroll down. Oh, she's pretty too. I might want to go out to dinner with her. The FN America FNS9, the 9mm for 4-inch pistol right there, or that Taurus. Is that that is a hammerless, isn't it? The Taurus, and if you want to see what we're talking about, it does have a hammer. Go to TRA Gun. Wow, that's only $343. Woo! A Taurus 357 mag for $343. They have a few of those in stock too. TRAguns.com is where you will find them all. And their grand opening of their brick and mortar store, of course, is coming up. In July? Yeah,
I think it's the beginning of July sometime. We've got a few show hosts that are going up there to broadcast, so we'll have more information about that as the time draws near.
Stephen Airy and Dylan Lyles will be there, right?
Yep, Defenders Live will be there. Matt Locke will be there with the Conservative Cartel, and they're going to help them open that store. I mean, if you've seen the Facebook posts of Tar River Arms, they've been adding, they've got the storefront set up now. They've been adding all the weapons to it over the last couple of weeks. This is pretty cool.
Well, I was going to wait for Brandon, but whatever. This last night, last night was just, I kept waiting for something to happen, and really nothing happened. And first of all, I hate series.
It was kind of a dead. Well, I mean, it was just anticlimactic.
Yeah, I mean,
I wanted a climax.
After you have, after you've defeated the White Walkers, after you've burned down King's Landing, what do you do for an encore? And the answer, if you ask the producers at Game of Thrones, is nothing. You have a snoozer of an episode, and it's truly, I mean, the
spoiler warning, by the way.
Oh yeah, but you ain't missing much, I'll tell you that. If I were you, I just wouldn't watch the finale, because first of all, finales are depressing. Series finales are depressing because you realize that it's like you get used to having friends around, you get used to having those friendly voices.
That's correct.
and then okay, they're gone, and it feels a little, I don't know, you feel kind of abandoned.
I have no idea what I'm going to do next Sunday night at 8 p.m. Central.
That's a lot of people were tweeting that last night. It's like, what are we going to do?
What am I going to do now?
And then think of the actors. They're all, oh man, we're going to make a living now.
Well, they've been that way for 6 months now.
Yes, they have.
You know, they've all had to do the press for it for 6 months after they finished filming and after they finished getting paid.
I bet you. Well, I guarantee. Here's the thing. I'll bet you some of their money was held until the finale.
Well, yeah, that's probably to keep them quiet.
Keep their mouths shut. Yeah, and that's the other thing is that these guys they've been working.
Do you know there's a
10 years.
petition out there, Brad, that's got 1 million+ signatures already? The petition is to remake the season 8.
All right, on Friday that was
with
at,
competent writers. It says
that was at 300 and some odd thousand. They went over.
It's just over 1 million.
They were looking for 500,000 signatures on that. On Friday, we were watching the numbers spin on the thing. Yeah, it just the character arc of everybody else was great over the course of. I mean, the Hound. You got all this over 8 seasons rather, and then, again, spoiler alert, you got Danny, she, over the course of 2 episodes,
went completely nuts.
Right. I mean, from being this messiah almost, the freer of everybody, to
being the Mad
woman.
Queen. Yeah.
And that's it. And was it Amelia Clark even in an interview said, well, if I had been John, maybe I would have tried discussing it with me first. It was kind of weird. Think about this, too. She's, and I didn't understand this, she's immune to fire, so she can sit in a hut and burn and come out fine on the other side, and even her hair is perfect. But you can stab her?
Yeah, evidently.
I know. It's a world. There were dragons, so I guess there's going to be. And
did you foresee who the new king would be?
No.
I bet Brandon did. I think he said that in one of our shows.
He may have. It's, again, I mean, yeah, okay.
I kept thinking the whole time they were going to force Jon Snow out of captivity and bring him in and make him the king.
Well, man,
but it made sense what they did.
It did make sense, but man, after seeing what happens to Jon, you want to just go home and take a warm bath with a blender.
Yeah.
Bring the toaster into the bath. It's just, I mean, geez.
Take a warm bath with a blender.
It just, I mean, how depressing. We're sending you, first of all, we're sending you back to the Night's Watch, and he's like, why is there a night? And why is there a Night's Watch?
And why is there a new wall?
Yeah, and how'd they rebuild that so damn fast? And I'm thinking that
and why, yeah, you're right. Why is there a Night's Watch if we've taken out the White Walkers?
Yeah. So is that why he was leaving at the end? Because he decided there was no, I mean, I didn't understand where he was going.
I had no idea.
I don't think anybody else did.
They were
either.
all just going back out in the woods.
I mean, it was kind of nice to see Tormund, but Tormund didn't say a damn thing when we got there.
Not at all.
But at least you got to see Ghost. I guess they, now we understand why they didn't.
Oh, yeah, they covered that part, didn't they?
Yeah.
Everybody was pissed that he didn't even pat Ghost. But alas, he got a little snuggle with him.
Yeah. And so that's where they spent the money, on the scene where he interacted. Actually, it's funny. If you go back to the original, or like the first 2 seasons, the wolves, or the Beowulfs, is that what whatever they're called.
The direwolves.
Direwolves,
yeah.
Them. They're not as big. I guess they were younger, but they're not as big.
Right.
They weren't digitally enhanced. So it was in the later seasons they became digitally enhanced, which meant that they were more expensive to do. And it's kind of like on Walking Dead with the tiger. The tiger was very expensive. Every time you saw the tiger, that represented a whole lot of man hours just to put tiger on screen. So the same thing with the wolves. And they spent their money on the last episode. So I don't know. It was just
that making of thing that I sent to you, which was it was kind of like the making of episode 5,
yes.
right?
Which should have been the making of, yes.
That was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, oh yeah, and
there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes when you're building a show like that.
They built the town to destroy. And actually, they built the destroyed town first, and then covered it over with the fresh town, and then just basically blew up the front pieces, and Yeah, it takes a lot of time. That's why you see all those credits. That's why it's so much money to produce one of those episodes.
Yeah.
And the cast, the money that the cast makes. So
look, the storyline sucked, Brad, but I'll be honest with you. The graphics and the special effects, those people did a really good job on this show.
Yeah, they did.
There's a lot of money spent on that and a lot of explosion.
And in Star Wars, they spent a lot of money, and Jar Jar Binks looked really good.
He did.
It sucked, but you know, it's. I hate that because it was such a. It's kind of like the ending of Dexter. And if you haven't seen Dexter, it didn't. I think it ended 5 years ago. So if you haven't seen it by now, the ending of Dexter was like, nyeh. It's tough to one up the episodes that they did. All the wars. They obviously, it looks like they spent all their money on the wars and the battle scenes, and they had nothing left over. Kind of depressing. Let's see what the Twitterverse is saying. Larky F and Farkin, I didn't watch the finale of Game of Thrones, nor have I watched a single episode. However, just like in real life, not everything ends the way you want or expect it to. That's true. It's true. That's true.
That's true. That's true.
No, and that's what I was thinking. Honestly, I was thinking that with the Jon Snow thing. It's like, you know what? You're not going to get a whole lot of happy endings in Westeros because it's a time when things are, you know, you're scrapping around just for food. Yeah. Pink F and Freud, you bitches. Holy cats, nerd time already. Yep. See, Pink Freud, here's what happens. When you isolate yourself down there in New Mexico, the rest of us have what's called a life. Although, hey,
we're
buddy,
getting some messages already. What are you guys doing? Don't talk about Game of Thrones yet.
Yeah. Well, it's either that or Pete Buttigieg. Well, we can talk about it.
Let's talk about Pete.
Yeah, Pete. He had some advice for. He did a town hall, and he had advice for a little girl talking about being bullied. And here's part of what he said about, have you had to endure any bullying yourself?
Do you have any advice about bullying?
Wow. Which, yeah. Oh, yeah. Give him a big round of applause. Right?
Well, part of the advice I'd give is
find a weak spot in someone's armor and attack that first. That's if you're going to be a bully, that's the best advice I can give.
Why does Pete Buttigieg look like a kid?
Because he
does.
Just to be willing to talk about it. So I think you're leading the way on that. Thank you for raising the question.
Thank you.
You know, I had experiences with bullying when I was growing up. And everybody who's different can be bullied. And the secret is everybody's different in some way. And
yeah. Whatever happened to just sticks and stones? There's going to be some.
They started hurting.
Well, yeah, they're going to be. Listen,
the word started hurting. The sticks and stones are like people like.
Kids, you know what? When you grow up, there's going to be some a-holes.
Yeah.
You're going to have people that they're mean. You're going to run into them. We're never going to rid the world of them. And when you come across one of them, here's what you do. You ignore them. If they push you, you hit back.
Well, and here's what happens. Kids get bullied at school, and then the parents have to get involved, or they think they do. And then when the parents get involved, it blows up into this big, huge deal. Now, there are levels of bullying. Don't get me wrong. You know, if your kid's getting their lunch money taken away from them, then you need to have a word with your child. If your kid is getting a gun pulled down on them, that's different, right?
Yes, that's not bullying. That's called assault with a deadly weapon.
Correct.
There's a difference.
But for a parent to have a child get their lunch money taken away from them, pull a gun on another parent or the other child, then things turn into a complete train wreck.
Yes, and the advice I gave my son growing up was somebody hits you, you hit them harder. Hit them back and hit them harder, because that's the only thing bullies like that understand. If you don't, they will continue to bully you and your life will be miserable. So don't let them make your life miserable. We'll continue that little discussion here in just a second. First, though, some news out of the food Food world, ultra-processed foods really do lead to weight gain, a new study has found. I don't think this is surprising to anybody, but they say that now if you fill your plate with the ultra-processed foods, you will eat more and you'll gain weight. The ultra-processed foods refer to products that tend to go through a number of manufacturing steps to be produced and contain ingredients that result from industrial food manufacturing, such as hydrogenated oils. No surprise there. High fructose corn syrup. No surprise there. Flavoring agents and emulsifiers. No surprise there. If we would all just eat, this is the one thing I do agree with the green movement. If you get stuff straight out of the ground and eat it without going through all these chemical processes, it's just common sense. It's better for you. That's why Riduzone makes sense. It's got the OEA molecule, helps fight food cravings, helps hopefully lower that your sport eating, as I like to say, and it can actually help speed up a slow metabolism. So go to riduzone.com and find out how you can save 30% when you buy 3 bottles. If you're ready to lose weight, Riduzone could help. More on bullying coming up in your Daily Market.
The 4 F's: freedom, faith, free markets, and fun. MoJo 50.
I'm Mike Opelka from PureOpelka.com. Here's your 2-minute drill. Well, just because Joe Biden's in the lead of the Democratic clown car of candidates, don't think Bernie Sanders is going to go away quietly. No, he's out there pitching all kinds of crazy ideas, like his idea to pay teachers a minimum wage of $60,000. He talked about it this weekend when he also made this ridiculous statement about sports stars and the money they earn.
So if we are a nation that can provide contracts to baseball players for hundreds of millions of dollars, don't tell me we cannot pay teachers in this country the kind of wages and salaries they deserve.
Yeah, I think teachers should make more money, but guess what? Teachers are paid by the schools. Sports stars are paid by the owners of the teams. It's called the free market. Look into it. Oh, wait, you're not into the free market, as you taught us on Meet the Press.
We're going to try to transform the United States of America, deal with this massive level of income and wealth inequality, deal with Wall Street, deal with the greed of the drug companies and the insurance companies and the fossil fuel industry.
Wait a minute. I think that sounds familiar. What is it about your campaign?
Our campaign has a different goal. It's to transform this country, and we're taking on the entire establishment.
That sounds awfully familiar.
We are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America.
When someone tells you who they are, believe them. Testudo, my friends. Testudo.
Mike Opelka's 2-minute drill is powered by MoJoWildRice.com. Their wild rice is a superfood. Gluten, sodium, fat, and cholesterol-free, yet high in fiber, protein, zinc, phosphorus, and trace minerals. But you're going to love it because it's delicious. MoJoWildRice.com. MoJoWildRice.com.
The Daily Mojo.
Pickled Squirrel just tweeted using the hashtag What I Learned Today, by the way. That's why I hate when everything even remotely unpleasant is called bullying. Yeah, you're right. That's called life. There are going to be some times in life, kids, when people are just not nice to you.
Yeah.
You're going to get...
and you have to learn to deal with that.
Yes.
I mean, one way or the other, you have to learn to deal with it.
And Larky F. and Farkin, I've always told my kids, if it's just words, walk away. But if they lay a hand on you, punch them square in the nose.
Kick them in the balls. That's what I told my daughters.
Yeah.
Kick them in the balls. That will stop it immediately.
Yeah, it will. That's the... That's absolutely the way to do it. JJ, what I learned today, there's no reason to get HBO. That's a subjective statement.
My wife was like, "Yay, it's over. I can cancel HBO now."
Yeah, like on Showtime, some of them would drop the entire series at once.
Yeah.
So you go in there, you get you just watch the whole thing, boom, and then you can just cancel. You get the 2-week free trial and then cancel.
Right.
But you're right. I mean, you start getting all these subscriptions to HBO and Showtime and everything else, and you're back up to where cable, your full cable bill used to be.
Yep, that's exactly right.
They figured out a way to do it. Back to Pete Buttigieg, who was giving us all lessons on bullying And he continued to speaking to the 11-year-old girl that asked him about what to do about bullying in general.
And when somebody's bullying you, they're making you feel alone sometimes, right? They're making you feel like you're the only one in that situation, and they're building you down. They're breaking you down. And it's tough. It makes you feel angry. It makes you feel worse. Mm-hmm. And it can kind of bring out the worst in you, too, right? That's probably the worst thing about bullying. In fact, a lot of how some bullies...
What does that mean exactly? If you get bullied, it brings out the worst in you? Well, Mike Brady. You know, Peter.
Holy crap.
You know, Peter, when you get bullied, it's a lot like the bull in you becomes the bull in them and then becomes the bull in them because the...
oh, my God, that sounds just like Mike Brady.
He makes no sense. Remember, when you bully others, you're really bullying yourself from the inside out.
...are made is that they were bullied themselves or somebody hurt them,
mm-hmm.
and they don't know how to deal with it. Mm-hmm. And they wind up turning it around and visiting that same kind of pain on somebody else. And that could be something that you've encountered if you've experienced.
So I fully expected him right here to
this
say,
guy's
you know
thinking
what?
through that answer on his feet.
Yes, he is. And you know what you really need to do when somebody starts bullying you? Give them a big hug. Just, look at them square in the eye. Actually, sometimes that works.
Tell them you love them.
If you can pull it off, if you can say it with a straight face,
I love you, man.
It probably, you know what? You need a hug. Because it'll just knock them off it'll just throw them enough off balance to where you walk up there, you just put your eye, you start giving them a big hug, and then you knee them in the balls. And that works.
And then be done with it.
It works every time. And then you say, look, MFer, you ever speak to me that way again, I will break your face and twist your head off. That works
Bullying
too.
happens because of fear. People fear not retaliation. People fear getting into a confrontation. A lot of people don't like that.
Wait, are you saying the bully is afraid of being in a confrontation?
No, the bullying happens because the person being bullied is afraid of confrontation. Therefore, the bully just keeps going.
Now who sounds like Mike Brady?
No, oh my God.
So you're saying that the person who's being bullied is afraid of confrontation
if they continue to allow it.
Aha.
Yes.
In other words, so if you don't fight back,
if you don't retaliate,
yes.
and I'm not saying that in a negative fashion, if you don't retaliate in some form or fashion, then the bullying continues.
Yeah.
It continues.
Yes,
and
it does.
continues. Now,
that's why
most of these bullies are backed up by their other football buddies.
Now, wait a minute. It's not just football players who are bullies.
I know. I retract my statement.
And very rarely, actually, it's usually
I'm speaking from personal experience.
Well, there are some a-hole football players. I'll give you that. I was bullied in school. His name was Eddie Mulder.
I was too.
And Eddie Mulder was he was kind of a fringe guy. He, kind of a stoner, kind of a loner kind of guy. And it was only a couple of years ago, and this is back 6th, 7th grade, and he was mean. And I kid you not, I think it was a couple of years ago, for whatever reason he was on I started looking something up about him. Turns out his dad was like a world-class dirt bike rider.
Yeah.
I mean, had won award. I mean, was famous. And this kid was growing up in the shadow of his father. And he wasn't as good as his father. Ta-da! There you go. I mean,
that's what happens.
Yeah, so it's like now you don't know all this stuff in the heat of the moment, in the heat of battle, but it's always like Mayor Pete just said, there are people who are hurt themselves. Now, that didn't do any good. Even if I had known that at the time, it wouldn't have done any good. And the only way you get through to Eddie Mulder is punch him in the nose.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then guess what? After you do that, this is what my experience was.
Mm-hmm.
After I punched my bully in the face,
mm-hmm.
he held me up against the lockers. He caught me in the hallway with my girlfriend there, him and his buddies, grabbed my neck, pushed me up against the lockers, and I thought through the process. I mean, I literally, to this day, can remember clearly what I was doing. And he held me up against the lockers. He had me like this.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I remember balling up my fist, and I just came over just a haymaker right to the side of the head. And, of course, it caused a fight. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
And when we started fighting, he put me in a headlock. And where do I go with my fist then?
The most convenient spot.
And right to the balls. I beat the snot out of him. Yeah. And I'll tell you what. After that, he wanted to be my friend.
Yes.
I hate that.
Were you buddies after that?
No, we were not buddies. But
that's not very nice of you.
He didn't mess with me anymore.
You know, all he wanted was a little love. He wanted somebody to care about him.
Bullies lack compassion. They lack empathy. And sometimes they lack a conscience. And I hate that. I hate that about people who feel like that's the way they've got to treat other people to make a name for themselves.
Well, Eddie Mulder later overdosed on drugs. He's dead now, so.
Oh, well, you didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I didn't have to so much. Yeah. How's your bully? Is he still alive?
He's still alive. As a matter of fact.
You'll go kick his ass?
No. I met his daughter one day after, we were all grown, of course.
Kicked her ass?
Nope. She cut my hair.
Wow.
No shit.
You trusted his daughter with a sharp object?
I didn't know she was his daughter until we had the conversation.
Stick it in your eyeball.
I said, well, tell your dad I said hello.
And that if he ever touches me again, I'll kill him. You should have ended it with that.
No, dude, back in the day, back when that happened, we were kids. And it was a childish deal. He
still doesn't like you.
He probably doesn't.
He doesn't. He told me. He said he doesn't like you. He's coming after you. Mayor Pete continued, by the way.
So the first thing you got to know is you have nothing to be ashamed of.
Wait for it.
And the second part, and this is a much harder part to remember, is that the person who's bullying you probably has something a little broken in them. And it's part of why they're trying to get your attention. That they want to get a response out of you. They want to kind of control a situation because something else in their life isn't going well.
There you go. And so if we, this is kind of a telegraphed moment. Can you imagine a presidency of Mayor Pete? Well, North Koreans, they just, he's just got something broken in him. He just needs, a hug. Look, we need to talk to them. We need to understand why it is they don't like us. At least he's given us that. He has shown us what a presidency of Mayor Pete would be like. If that's not enough to run screaming the other way, I don't know what is. It's up to you.
By the way, Brad, and I want to say thank you to all the listeners and the viewers specifically, because we are at 4 times the number on MoJo 50 TV right now than we are.
4 people watching, yes!
Than we were on Facebook. So thank you for that. If you're listening to us and you want to watch us, you can do this on your mobile device, your tablet. Go to MoJo50.com and just go to MoJo 50 TV. We're right there. There's a little chat blog right there.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, if you're just listening and you haven't yet watched, it is No Pants Monday, so we're not wearing any pants today. If you that doesn't scare you away, with
no
MoJo 50
Monday.
What is No Pants Monday? You're not wearing them either. I can see that.
Yeah.
And all 4 people who are watching, they're not wearing pants either. Gwen Rich is probably wearing pants. She has much more sense than either one of us. She's over at the Rich Solution, and I like if you go to the Rich Solution and you click on, there's a little Spoonie logo there at the top. You click on that. It says, Gwen wants to make a difference in the world by helping others. She uses her incurable cancer journey as the example and the 5% solution as the system to help move you forward. The 5% solution is a series of procedures. It's where Gwen will share these methods and procedures with you, whether it be our lively videos, audience engaged podcast. We're committed to impacting our community as the voice of the true fan. Here's the thing about Gwen. She really does want to leave a legacy behind. Things that it changes you when you face death. You ever known somebody, outside of Gwen, who has faced death, who has had a near-death experience? They are not the same person.
No, they're not.
Afterward, they really, it can do one of 2 things. It can make them very bitter, or it can make them look at life in a whole new way, and that's what it did with Gwen. Made her look at life in a whole new way, and she really wants to leave something positive behind. That's what the Rich Solution is all about. It can benefit you, of course. If you go there, you look at the supplements. You can look at her handbags and the stories of the people behind the handbags. That's the amazing thing. I didn't realize what the handbags were all about. But Just go to the Rich Solution, click on handbags, and read about purses with passion, and just see. But I mean, I'll be the first to admit, I really didn't understand the story of the purses until I read about them, strangely enough. TheRichSolution.com is where you'll find it, and that's where you'll find Gwen. And, of course, her show over on Spoonie airs. Is it? That's not daily, is it?
It is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern.
There you go. 10 a.m. Eastern would be 9 a.m. Central and 7 a.m. Pacific.
Correct. You did well.
Thank you. I'm going to get these stupid time zones right. It kills me. And Stinky says 4 people watching, number 5 trying. He still cannot link up.
Folks, come on now. We're at 52 viewers over on MoJo 50 TV. That's almost 5 times the amount of people we had on Facebook. If you've never watched us on MoJo 50 TV or Facebook, go out there. Let's get that number to 100 today. I just want to see the number be at 100.
Stinky's trying, and he's having troubles. Player error. Update your software. Have you tried rebooting? You know what, Stinky? Call IT. They'll help you. Of course, the first thing they'll say is, have you tried rebooting? Try a different browser. Try standing on your head and seeing if you can log in that way.
Make sure it's plugged in first.
Yes, you might have an air gap. If you have an air gap, I'm telling you, air gaps will...
Describe air gap, Brad. Air gap between the plug and the wall socket.
Exactly. I think it needs no explanation. Did you see the story about Billy Shamir?
No.
Healthcare worker accused of murdering 12 elderly women. They say he could be linked to 1,000.
What?
1,000 unexplained deaths. He's right here in Texas. He is accused of murdering multiple elderly women who lived near Dallas and Collin counties with a pillow, subsequently robbing them. In March of 2018, he was charged with capital murder in the death of an 81-year-old woman here. He has been accused of 2 counts of murder, attempted capital murder for attacking 2 women. And he always goes after the older ones. Can't fight back, obviously.
That are in an assisted living place? Right. Is that what it is? He's smothering them?
Yep. And
they couldn't figure out that they were suffocating.
Right. Think about 1,000 deaths.
Exactly.
This guy is 45 years old. Do the math on that and figure out how many that is a day. This guy is...
And no one caught on. That's the thing that's bothering me right now.
It is one of the most bizarre things I think I've ever read. One of the women described how a well-dressed man knocked on her door claiming to be a maintenance worker. She responded that she didn't require any work done. He forced his way inside, knocked her from her walker to the floor. He worked as a nurse in his native country of Kenya, but appears to have been legally working in healthcare in the U.S. Court records indicate Mr. Shamirmir posed as an employee at the Edgemont Retirement Community in Dallas under the alias Benjamin Koitaba. This guy, this guy is the devil incarnate.
Oh, yeah.
He is newly indicted on 6 deaths of elderly women from 2016 to 2018, and possibly up to 1,000 other deaths. His bond right now is at $9 million, so I don't think he's going to be getting out anytime soon. That's terrifying.
Brad, did you hear about the incident that happened on Friday? Was it Friday, I guess, here in the Fort Worth area?
Tell me about the incident, and I'll tell you if I've heard of it.
So there is, the Ring doorbells actually do recordings, you know, and a lot of people have them. And so ultimately what occurred was a guy pulled up in a very rich subdivision in the Fort Worth area, pulled up in a car. A woman was walking with her 8-year-old daughter. Mm-hmm. He snatches that daughter out of that woman's hands. She tries to go into the car after them. He pushes her out, and the dude takes off with the 8-year-old daughter. This happened on Friday.
Oh, yeah, the little girl that was, kidnapped.
Kidnapped,
yes.
Yep. But some people who had gotten notification of the Amber Alert and the description of the vehicle spotted that vehicle in a hotel parking lot. They broke down the door where this guy was at and got the little girl back within about 3 or 4 hours.
I did hear that.
That's too close to home.
That's an amazing story. That is true. I mean, that's that's an example of social media doing good.
Yeah,
being able to connect people in such a way that they can respond very quickly and actually do some good in the world. So yes, absolutely, kudos to them. The other thing you sent me, the Preakness.
Do you have that video?
Let's see here.
It was funny, but it was not funny. I mean, God bless that horse, dude. Bodie Express.
Yeah.
He was like, you know what? I'm just going to go on with this.
That was pretty amazing. I was pretty stunned at that.
I'm just going to go ahead and run this race.
Without a rider. He knocked him off right there at the beginning of the, here's the video. The rider in this.
Watch it, gate number 9, I think.
And it's when they open the gates, the horse bucks just a little bit and boom.
Boom.
Takes the...
So the rider falls off, but watch the horse.
Bodie.
He's like, I am out of here, baby.
And he didn't finish dead last, did he?
I don't think he did, but
all right.
Look, he runs with the pack.
Yes, he does. I mean, they're trained to just keep going. They are truly, I mean, you could smack these horses on the ass and they'd run around the track. But I was watching him, and then I'm watching the two horses behind
him. Yeah.
And don't you know they were in fear for their jobs at that point? Because if you get beaten by a horse with no rider...
Well, but watch here in a minute. They'll do a tight close-up of some of the leaders. And watch. Look at that horse. He's staying up with them.
Yes, he is. I mean,
now,
that's what he's trained to do.
Right. He probably weighs about 100 pounds less, right?
Sure. Yeah, he's gaining he's gaining on the horse that's third from the pack.
He was a social media phenom.
Yes,
is what they said.
Everybody loved him. They were demanding that he get his own show. that he didn't need a rider.
Now there is I forget what the riders are called.
Jockeys?
No, the other riders that come out. You'll see one come out after he makes this bend turn.
And try to wrestle him away.
Yeah, and watch her. She freaking spurs her horse as she comes out of there. Watch this.
Yeah, I saw the.
All right, here they come. They're going to try to grab him. He's in the back. Here she comes. Watch, spur that horse. Boom. She's like, he sped up. I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah, she just and he did beat a couple. He did beat one of the horses, didn't he?
Well,
so the guy back there in last place just got his lunch handed to him by a riderless horse.
Now the thing is that this horse made a complete second lap, just running. Because they couldn't get to him.
Well, yeah. So I mean, he's eventually going to tire himself out. So you got to do is wait and watch.
That War of Will was the winner.
So does he gets disqualified for that?
Why? He placed last and was a no finish.
Why does he finished?
Yeah, now see, if you let that keep going, he runs right by them.
Yeah, but he finished the race.
He did.
Is there a rule that says you have to have somebody sitting on you?
Yeah, I think so, actually.
So, okay. If there's that rule, but I can't imagine. I mean, if for any reason, I guess it's probably worded, if for any reason the rider falls off, blah, blah, blah. But I still think the horse deserves kudos for finishing that thing.
Well, the jockey got up and he wasn't hurt at all. And he's like,
oh, his pride was hurt.
He was.
He was. And the guy, I don't know what you call the guy that stays back in the gate. You know, the prepper, the trainer, whatever he is. But you could tell when the guy fell off, he was not happy.
He wasn't happy, but the trainer still had hold of the reins. That was what the original discussion was, is that the trainer still had hold of the reins.
Oh, then he's a dumbass.
All right, guys, we're at 72. Keep going. Let's get up to 100.
Yep. That's getting
stinky. That will be the most viewers that this show has had on video if we can reach 100. Please, let's get there.
If, by the way, the person who is number 100 gets a free foot rub from Ron. So make sure that
if you're in the local area, you just come on by.
Yep.
Now, this next thing you're about to talk about.
Yep, that's old
Holy
Hardy.
Crap.
So this at the other end of the spectrum from the horse who was out there doing it on his own, doing it for himself. This guy gets the Idiot of the Year award. Arnold Schwarzenegger
is such a putz.
He's in South Africa.
South Africa.
South Africa. And he is at some sort of award ceremony, and he's got those little booths set up there, so people are taking pictures with him. And
have you got this set up where you can see him walk up behind him first?
Well, let's see. We'll just play this and see what happens here, because he's in a gymnasium and he's got his back to the basketball court. Basically, he's taking a selfie or taking pictures of somebody, and then out of nowhere, this yachts from the crowd behind him comes flying up, and whoa!
Boom! Kicks him right in the back.
And that's a pretty good flying kick too. And yeah, see that one more time. I mean, he's just boom, and it knocks the Terminator down, or at least out of the way. He didn't.
He got right back up though.
Yeah.
Started shaking hands, went back over and sat down.
And he's not pressing charges.
I heard that this morning.
He said he's not pressing charges, that he's just going to leave it where it is, and the guy obviously needs help. Yeah. If you, I'm not, and yeah, I know the guy's crazy for doing it, but what goes through your head when you think, hey, watch this, hold my beer?
So at the beginning of that video, Schwarzenegger sitting at a table, and then he gets up and he starts filming, and you see this guy walk up behind him, but then he disappears out of the frame. And the next time you see him, he's flying.
He was waiting for his opportunity. I'm not going to do it when he's sitting down. I'm going to wait until he's standing up, and then I'm going to take him out. What was he hoping to accomplish in that? It was just, I mean, he does have the bragging rights now. Hey, I'm the guy that snuck up behind the Terminator and kicked him.
You know what would have been funny is if Schwarzenegger had sidestepped.
Yeah.
And the dude just falls on his ass.
Right on past him. I would imagine hitting Schwarzenegger's, I don't know how tall he is, so I don't know if he...
I don't think he's super tall.
So he probably doesn't weigh, what, 2.5 maybe?
Maybe.
So if you... you depending upon how much you weigh, of course, you do a flying kick into something that's 250 pounds, it's not going to move a whole lot. It's like kicking a wall, especially if you weigh, $150. But it kind of, well, Arnie was not expecting it. That's the whole. But did you notice how Arnold was also not moving real gingerly beforehand? He's kind of he's starting to move like
he's starting to age a little bit.
He is old. He's up there in his 80s now, so he's like 84.
He's not 80, is he?
He's like 86, I think. So he's actually, for 86, he's looking pretty good. For his age, he's starting to slow down a little bit. The Terminator, it just goes to show you, it doesn't matter if you're the Terminator or not. Eventually, somebody's always out to get you.
83, folks, 83. Come on. If you're listening to us, just go out there on your phone.
Get that foot
just
rub.
Open your phone. Go out there to MoJo50.com. Hit MoJo50 TV.
Ron has
Let us get that number
really
up.
Soft hands. You will love the foot rub you get if you're number 100. I'm telling you.
I got soft hands, brother.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And those thumbs, they do magic things. Magic things. Thumbs you can use on a telephone if you get one from PatriotMobile.com. Go to PatriotMobile.com/Mojo50 and find out all about Patriot Mobile. The fact that it is the probably the world's only conservative cell phone company. If you're tired of the of your money going to causes like Planned Parenthood and other left-wing and progressive causes, and what, my money's going, yeah, if you're with some of the big mobile companies, you just do a little research on where they give their money, where they each month take a little bit of their money and give it to those progressive causes. If you've got an account with them, that means part of your money is going to fund them. So what can you do in retaliation or just to get out of that situation? Well, you go to Patriot Mobile, you find out what the coverage is in your area. Once you go to PatriotMobile.com/Mojo50, just click on the little icon in the upper left-hand corner. It'll take you to the front page. You can check the coverage. You can find out about the different phone plans. You can bring your own phone, shop new phones. You can do it your way. You can get them with lettuce and pickle. You can hold the tomatoes.
92, Brad.
See, we're almost there. That's the foot rub that's getting them.
Come on. Oh, and by the way, a new page out on the website that's that wasn't there before. We've got an in memoriam for Doc Thompson out there now.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell him about the Patriots Without Pants.
Yep, under About Us, you can actually go out, read the in memoriam. The site's dedicated to Doc, of course, but there are I don't know, probably 40 or so pictures that were used during his...
dedicating the site to a guy who will not come back from vacation?
Well, that's what we keep waiting. We keep hoping.
I think that's... I'm not sure that deserves that, but okay.
Yeah, there are 40 or so pictures out there that we all gathered during his funeral, and
guys, nothing says a good time like looking at funeral pictures. Let me tell you,
I said they were gathered for his funeral, but these are not funeral pictures.
I did tell you that the
good Lord,
his brother, because they had the
Dan.
They had the
what a great dude.
When they got married, Doc was in the hospital, so they had some of the wedding pictures around the hospital bed.
Oh yeah,
and they wanted to recreate the picture at the wedding.
Oh,
they wanted to recreate it at the funeral. They didn't end up doing it, but damn, I love his family.
They're good people.
Yes, they are.
We met the entire extended family.
That one guy, though, he's a putz. Larky F. and Farkin says, since I'm at work, I can't watch MoJo TV unless I use my phone. But if I use my phone, it pauses when I switch to Twitter. That's exactly right. That way you don't miss a minute of it. It's all part of the plan of us taking over the world. MoJo Jedi, what I learned today, I joined via my phone. I'll be there in about 20 minutes for my foot rub. No, you see, you have to be number 100.
106, Brad. 106.
Crap, maybe he was number 100 then.
He might have been.
MoJo Jedi, come on. Oh, he says, I gave my wife the voucher. No one touches my feet. Well, you get to lay hands on MoJo Jedi's wife. Woo.
Thank you.
That is gonna
Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Except that one guy.
This is us showing Facebook. Kiss it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. By the way, if MoJo Jedi's wife looks like him, she's going to look like a female pickle. At least I think. That's what is very strange. What a strange group of people. I love you all. This is your Daily Mojo.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. Mojo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Greg Clugston in Washington. Severe weather damaged or destroyed at least 50 homes in the town of Ville Platte, Louisiana over the weekend. The mayor declared an official state of emergency after a possible tornado downed trees and power lines. This resident told KATC-TV that her home was damaged by the storm, but it could have been much worse.
This could have been a tragedy way worse than losing my house. So I'm going to go and just be thankful for what you got, because even though I have nothing right now, I'm alive.
There was dangerous weather in other parts of the country, stretching from Texas to Iowa. High winds knocked out power to tens of thousands of homes and businesses, and flights were delayed or canceled in the South and Midwest. President Trump is warning Iran not to threaten the United States. This after a rocket landed near the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad's Green Zone. In an interview broadcast last night on the Fox News channel, the president said Iran must be kept in check.
I just don't want them to have nuclear weapons, and they can't be threatening us. And you know, with all of everything that's going on, and I'm not one that believes, I'm not somebody that wants to go into war.
Arkansas Republican Senator Tom Cotton told NBC's Meet the Press that judges should not be the ones to decide how states will handle the abortion question.
I'm pro-life, and I think a basic responsibility of government in a civilized society is to protect innocent life. I know that that's a passionate question on both sides. One of the problems of having unelected judges in Washington make that kind of decision for us as a nation is that you can't have space for democratic debate where you can reach consensus and try to find some common ground.
There's a manhunt underway in Alabama. Authorities are searching for a man they say killed one Auburn police officer and wounded 2 others last night. More at townhall.com.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All-American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-570-6630. 800-570-6630. That's 800-570-6630. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
If you're tired of being fat, that's the simplest way I can put it, try Riduzone. It's not magic, it's science. It's a simple way to help keep yourself from overeating. Go to Riduzone. That's Riduzone.com.
A former Democratic National Committee member told Politico on Monday that he will become National Senior Advisor to the Draft Beto campaign. That sounds like a horrible beer, probably a Pilsner.
The Defenders with Stephen Airy, tonight at 9.
MoJo 5-0.
Why have thousands of aspiring authors teamed up with Christian Faith Publishing to publish their book? Because Christian Faith Publishing is an author-friendly publisher who understands that your labor is more than just a book. We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process, professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the publishing industry. And as always, you will retain 100% of the rights to your book.
I was looking to find a company that I could trust, one that assisted in the editing process completely.
The most important qualities that I was looking for was a publisher who was honest and upfront, no hidden costs or fees, and owning the rights to my own work.
Christian Faith Publishing will publish, market, and sell your books in all major bookstores, online booksellers, as well as specialty Christian bookstores. Call for your free author submission kit.
800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. That's 800-978-4812.
If we weren't so bad.
To puppy rape.
I like to cuss. Do I want to keep my penis?
Cat wants some black titties.
We wouldn't be so good. MoJo 5-0.
Mothership has landed.
All right, Jill Hollis in Seattle. Newsflash, at least 106 Mojo sexuals give real Ron Phillips a show job at MoJo50TV.com. Just so you know. And we do need to stop and welcome somebody new to the program. This is the first time I've had the pleasure of speaking with you, Mike, and I will say this, that you, before you say a word, Ron came in here and said you had a dreamy voice, so no, I mean, just
no pressure, but I mean, like, you're going to need to really bring your A game right now. Go ahead. This is the first time people are going to hear you, so go ahead.
Go ahead and let's hear a sample of your voice.
I'm afraid that, my voice is going to crack.
Oh, damn.
My God. Okay.
Okay, I love you already. Ron who? That's all I can say.
I don't like that, Brad.
Ron who? Wow.
It's a pleasure meeting you guys.
Damn. That is a sexy voice right there.
Yeah.
And the really frightening thing is he's never met us, and he has no idea if we're kidding or not when we say, I love him.
He really does.
To be honest, I have no idea what I'm doing right here right now. So
that's all right.
Best of luck to you guys.
Neither do I, man. It's okay.
This is going to be an experiment.
I have zero clue about what I'm doing right now.
We'll have to come up with a nickname for Mike that we will do at some point. Actually, we don't have to do it. The Jackals will do it.
The Jackals and the Code Monkeys, they do.
They will take care of that in short order, I'm sure. And Mojo Jedi, by the way, said Ron loves pickles. I may need to take back that voucher. Because if Mojo Jedi was, in fact, the 100th, that would mean that he gets the foot rub for being the 100th on Mojo 50 TV. There was an update from Arnold Schwarzenegger's son. He is doing just fine after the sneak attack in Saudi Arabia. Joseph Baena credits his father's legendary physique for helping shake off the incident. So, yeah, that's got to hurt. If you're not ready for it and somebody drop kicks you from behind.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, that has got to hurt.
Got to take the wind out of you at least. And how old is Arnold Schwarzenegger now?
107.
Yeah, exactly. 100, about as many viewers as we've got.
Exactly.
No, he's an old guy at this point in time.
Yeah.
I seriously doubt he's
still the Terminator. Though.
He's
still the Terminator.
Even the Terminator is going to have back problems. He's got that had to have done some damage.
I would think so. I mean, that's tough on your spine.
Yeah.
But he's still not. He said not going to press charges, so we'll see.
Did they ever say? Because I watched it too. But did they ever say what it is exactly? Why that guy did it?
Why the guy did it?
Reason?
Because he's an a-hole.
He's just an asshole who decided to drop kick the Terminator.
Apparently.
What an ass.
Yeah.
What an ass.
So the one of the last scenes of Game of Thrones was Brienne of Tarth writing in the book of history. And somebody on Twitter said the same thing. Whoever opens that book next after Brienne of didn't let the ink dry Tarth gonna be like, hey, because that's exactly what I was thinking. After she finished writing whatever she wrote and then slammed the book shut, it's like, oh, those pages are going to stick together now because that ink is not dry.
I always thought, yeah, I was thinking that very thing too. I was like,
yes.
I feel like maybe you should at least blow on it a second.
Yes, at least, or put a blotter sheet between the pages.
Yeah, why are you just closing? That ink's going to get everywhere, Brienne. Have you ever written before?
And let me tell you this, you better know exactly what you're going to write and be very careful because those quill pens do not have erasers.
Yeah, it's true.
And if you got to tear out the whole page if you make a mistake, I'm just saying,
Yeah, it's one of those little things that bothered me.
Yes.
One of the little things.
Oh, there's.
I hate when they do that. Like, I catch things like that. Did you notice, like, in the in-game trailer, when Black Widow was practicing, shooting that target?
Wait, what'd she do?
So the gun was going off, and I guess she ran out of ammo. But instead of the slide locking backward,
right,
it just stayed the exact same. She ejects it. Does it, racks the slide, nothing comes out. And so I was like, it's little things like that bother me.
And by the way, there was another cup faux pas in the episode last night, too. It was I
heard there were two of them, Brad.
At least one. I know of at least one. We'll talk about that coming up. But, yeah, so these are the important things that happen. Police in New York are using a photo. They actually did use a photo of Woody Harrelson to find a lookalike beer thief. And by the way, I watched Zombieland on Saturday.
Yeah?
And I finished watching, and you're right, it's still just as funny.
Show.
Still just as funny. And I do love Woody Harrelson. New York Police Department used a photo of Woody in its facial recognition program in an attempt to identify a beer thief who looked like the actor. Georgetown University Center on Privacy and Technology highlighted the episode, and apparently has something called Garbage In, Garbage Out report. It says there are flawed practices in law enforcement's use of facial recognition. Report says security footage of the thief was too pixelated and produced no matches, while high-quality images of Harrelson returned several possible matches and led to one arrest. That is bizarre. So they used a picture of, in another story, they used a picture of a New York Knicks player to search its database for a man wanted for a Brooklyn assault. Stakes are too high in criminal investigations to rely on unreliable or wrong inputs, according to Georgetown researcher. It worked. The bottom line is, it worked.
Yeah.
How can you criticize it if it in fact worked? By the way, there was I'm sure you knew this, there was the season finale last night of American Idol.
Oh, yeah, I was watching all that. Did you see where the
guy in that thing?
And they stabbed him.
Right.
I was like, wow.
That I had no idea, first of all, the show was even on, and then I looked at Ryan Seacrest's tweet congratulating the champ. Just as this is last night, his tweet got 2,666 likes compared to Amelia Clark's got like 25 million likes. It's something stupid.
Remember,
it was in the millions.
Remember how, gosh, man, I can remember that we used to get together as like a neighborhood and watch American Idol back when it was in its heyday.
Yeah.
And now it's like
American who?
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, like, the show has really, I can't tell if it's lost its luster because like people are just so used to American Idol now.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's the fact that really the magic of American Idol was Simon Cowell.
Could have been.
Like, the whole thing behind it was you've got to have that mean person there.
Yes.
Giving it to people straight.
Because that's always he represented the voice of people out in the audience who are always going to be snarky about the contestant.
Not just that, but I mean, it gave the contestants real stakes. You know, it's like, look, if you mess up, this guy will destroy you. And that is always on the edge of your mind the entire time. Like, if you really screw this up,
you're right.
Not just at the very beginning, but all the way through the very end. If you screw this up, he's going to destroy you and tear you down over it.
Yeah.
And that was fun to watch because it was like a dose of realism in a world where everyone's like, hey, you gave it your best shot, and that's all that matters.
Here's a participation trophy.
Here it is. So, yeah, I think now with, like, Katy Perry, who everyone's kind of over right now, and, you know.
She's still hot.
Is she, though? Yeah. I feel like with that short haircut she
Oh,
had,
wait a minute. You're right.
It's not doing it for me.
Nah, you're right. No, I agree with you there. Sorry, I'd forgotten about that thing. Oh, bummer. You can grow back out. It can grow back out. The National, what are they? It's the National Fire Protection Association, the NFPA. They have some grilling safety tips for Memorial Day, which, by the way, is a week from today. This coming weekend is Memorial Day weekend. Woo! The first official weekend in summer. They say make sure that you check for gas leaks, first of all, around your grill. Make sure that you keep that grill at least 3, 4, 5 feet away from your home. From deck railings and from under the eaves and overhanging branches. It is always funny to go to somebody's house who has like vinyl siding. You can always tell where their grill was because that's where the vinyl siding is sagging. Yeah, it'll melt that. So be careful when you're out there grilling. And if you haven't ordered your summer grilling pack yet from MoJo Wild Rice, I believe you can get it in time for this weekend if you do it today. If you go to MoJoWildRice.com and you scroll down just a smidge, you will see the Grilling Sampler Pack 2019. You can click on that, and it'll get to you. It comes in via priority mail, so I think you can get it by Friday. You can be all set with all the goodies, whether it's the raspberry wine jelly, the jerk seasoning.
I love a good jerk season.
I tell you, I can't get enough jerk seasoning.
Oh, yeah.
It's just... the salt-free garlic and herb seasoning for the meats, the veggies, the potatoes, or even the tilapia. Whatever it takes.
What was the fish?
Was it a tilapia?
A tilapia, yeah.
Yeah. You'll never look at tilapia the same again.
Nope.
Go to MoJoWildRice.com and get yours today. All right. Look at that. Look at that. I pointed at him and he said, boom!
Oh!
We scoured news platforms and agencies around the globe for today's most profound news headlines. Presenting them now, here's Brad Staggs.
Nope.
Is that guy ever going to just get it right? Because
no,
seriously,
he's not.
This guy is, he's not on the ball, as it were.
Hold on. There you go.
All right, folks, you know the drill. Close your mind and be still. Have 5 headlines I will read for you. Only one of them is not true.
I think that was the original one I wrote for you.
Was it?
You're welcome.
Did you write that one for me?
I think so.
Do you have that written down somewhere?
Yeah, put it in your wallet.
Oh, did
next
you?
to the note that says "I love you."
Aww.
And then I mean, don't you get excited when you get to work
every day?
See?
Yeah.
When you get there and then, oh, look, he left me a Post-it in my wallet.
He's such a good guy. All right, luxury cat food recalled after pets and owners develop bovine tuberculosis. Tuberculosis.
Yeah.
Because I'm an idiot, and it's Monday. A gourmet cat food for pampered pets sparked an outbreak of a deadly strain of tuberculosis, which affected about 50 animals and at least 2 of their owners. Veterinary scientists believe the natural wild venison cat food was recalled nationwide by Natural Instinct, which marketed it as a healthier option to regular pet food.
Wait a minute. So it's not a sign that your cat's smoking if it gets TB?
Right. It's just that he's eating food, which, you know.
It's kind of weird. I didn't know that would happen.
Yeah, no. But, you know, weirder things have happened.
That's true.
It came after veterinary scientists at the University of Edinburgh. They actually had Pay Money Wubby come on their show, by the way, and it's freaking hysterical.
They had who come on the show?
The Angelic Initiative.
Oh!
Who those 2 crazy ladies. And they had a YouTuber, Pay Money Wubby, come on with them after he had done like this entire... He's the one that actually brought them to mainstream attention.
And it worked for him.
Oh, yeah. Where was I? University of Edinburgh began looking into why dozens of cats at homes in Britain had been struck by bovine tuberculosis. The issue first came to light when 6 cats were taken to separate vet practices across England. Yada, yada, yada.
Okay.
Yeah. And apparently 2 people suffered from it. That sucks.
Yes, it does. What were they doing with a cat that they were able to catch something from the cat?
Oh, yeah. That's good question.
Don't ask.
Why did they get it?
That's
maybe.
Exactly.
Oil discovered in man's backyard.
Add that to the list of things that will never happen to us.
Well, this might be a good thing for you. The discovery of oil, the commodity that the whole world would like to get its greasy hands on, is always momentous. And it was no different when last Sunday afternoon in the Batambang commune of Tapon.
Well, which, by the way, is absolutely beautiful this time of year. I highly recommend it.
The trashy river next to it is just a beautiful sight. When a resident doing some garden maintenance had the shock of his lifetime, Moise Kenwood, 55, had collected the dumped rubbish and lit a fire, dug up a tree and some weeds, and pruned a wild bush before venturing into a little visited area of his garden that had grown completely out of...
So hold on. Before you said
he trimmed the bush.
Pruning a wild bush led to a gusher in his backyard.
Hey-oh!
Thank you. Okay, I think we're just turn the whole thing off. We're leaving now.
We can go home now.
Yes, that's it.
Thanks, everybody.
Yep. Good night.
He had grown completely out of control. Was now back in the hands of nature. So he hacked his way with a scythe and head-height grass. He became aware of a 55-gallon oil drum, half full of a treacly black mass.
Or was it half empty? If his name was Jed, I'm...
It was covered in undergrowth that hadn't seen the light of day for some considerable time. He found a stick, dipped it in. It was oil, sure enough. Being aware of the high-value nature of oil worldwide, he started to become excited. Yeah. Experts came to his home and said, yeah, you've got yourself a drum of oil.
Oh, wait, so wait a minute. It was just a drum of oil?
Yep. He didn't strike oil. It was just a drum.
That's kind of disappointing. Then what he had on his hands was a big mess.
What he had was probably like a $6.
So he trimmed the hedges and came up with a big mess.
But my question is, and
right.
I guess I could see why, because if you look around this area, it's like not at all clean. Like this place is a freaking dump.
He could have found a car in there, is what you're saying?
He probably could have.
So what's he with the oil? I mean, was it used like motor oil or just was it?
No, it was just
somebody left him a. So that's still worth something. I mean, you get it
like $6.
He could have taken it to Valvoline and said, "Here's some fresh oil. How much will you give me?"
My question is, how did it get there? Of course, how did seriously, this place, how does most of it get there?
Right.
Like, it looks like a freaking dump around the area.
Yeah, I was going to say. Somebody dumped it.
Mm-hmm. Texas has a 6 artificial vagina limit per person. I didn't know if you knew that, Brad.
Damn it. And the weekend's coming.
Let's see. American legislators have a sense of humor. This is evident in their need to outlaw some of the most enjoyable vices known to man: marijuana, backwoods moonshine distilleries, and artificial vaginas. Well, not nationwide, but you could catch a felony in Texas under certain circumstances. Here's how Texas law, more specifically Chapter 43, Public Indecency, could hamper your ability to try various vaginas simultaneously. And then it goes into the law, and it's, wow.
What?
Obscene, yeah. The average person applying contemporary community standards would find that taken as a whole appeals to the prurient interest in sex. During the legislative session, one can only imagine how hard it was to keep from laughing erratically. According to Texas law, here is what is considered obscene. Obscene device, quote unquote, means a device including a dildo or artificial vagina designed as marketed as useful primarily for the stimulation of human genital organs.
By the way, Mike, welcome to the program here this morning, and you still have time to back out.
That's the most exciting story I've heard in a long time.
Just saying. So there's a limit on artificial. Okay.
A person commits an offense if, knowing its contents and character, he wholesale promotes or possesses with intent to wholesale promote any obscene material or obscene device.
So you can't sell them. You can only have so many to sell.
You can only have so many to sell. Yeah. Apparently, you cannot buy vagina in bulk.
I thought you could only have like 6 vaginas on your body at one time. I was like, well, that's a lot of vaginas.
Most women can only handle one, you know?
Could you imagine 2, 3, maybe even
God,
6?
No. No. It'd be the worst.
Hey,
not just for her, but for like the guys with her.
Party at Amy's house tonight.
I'm inviting all the guys.
Wow.
Let's see. You can now find a Game of Thrones counselor near you.
Like a therapist?
Yep. Come Sunday, the night will be dark and full of many, many terrors, especially for Game of Thrones superfans. But it will be the final Sunday of terror for those fans. Alas, all good things must come to an end. After 8 years, longtime viewers of the HBO drama that has become one of the most popular TV shows will need to accept the end of the series on May 19th. Fear not, though, fans, because you won't be alone as they try to detach themselves from the world of Westeros and hang on to these tough, difficult times. Counselors are making themselves available to talk about the show after the series end. Yes, Game of Thrones therapy is indeed a thing.
I can understand that. That would
I like the bark.com the descriptor. The professionals will help them digest their feelings and interpretation of the show, which could range from anger and confusion to sadness and grief.
I can understand that happening. I get it.
I love it.
It's like losing a friend. It's like losing a friend.
You know, my fiance last night actually was kind of like, I'm really sad. Like,
Yes.
I'm distraught. It's over. It's over. And I'm like,
what are you going to do next Sunday? You're going to have to sit there and talk to each other.
Oh, not that.
Yeah.
Wild turkey causes a brief power outage in southeast Eugene.
Eugene? Is that Oregon?
I'm going to guess so. A wild turkey coming in contact with a primary feeder line was the cause of a power outage that lasted about an hour and a half and affected about 350 Eugene Water and Electric Board customers in southeast Eugene, EWEB spokesman Joe Harwood said. The outage started at 5:45 a.m. and power was restored by 7:12, according to Harwood. The online EWEB power outage map still showed a handful of customers without power at 8:45, yada, yada, yada. The turkey did not survive the event.
Turkeys are stupid.
Turkeys,
they are
remember,
dumb.
we've seen a pattern here developing with turkeys.
They will stand out and they will look at the sky while it's raining and drown. They're stupid animals. They taste very good, especially deep fried.
Mm-hmm.
They are fabulous deep fried.
What if we are, they say you are what you eat? If turkeys are that stupid.
That explains a lot.
Do we just like ingest the stupidity
That
and just kind of like
explains
go to our
Ron.
brains, do you think?
Explains Ron.
Does it?
It does.
Ron, he called you turkey stupid, not just like regular stupid. He called you turkey stupid.
Or
Gobble, gobble.
I think I would have chosen a different comeback than that, but okay.
All right, those are your 5 headlines. Let's go ahead and recap here. Luxury cat food recalled after pet owners developed bovine tuberculosis. Oil discovered in man's back garden. Texas has 6 artificial vagina limit per person. You can now find a Game of Thrones counselor near you. And a wild turkey causes brief power outage in southeast Eugene. Which one is the fake one? That's up to you, but first, here's Brad Staggs with a word from our sponsor.
Well, it was interesting reading the tweets from DMXDM over the weekend. They were at the downtown Des Moines Farmers Market. If you're up in that area, they're going to be back out there. I think it's coming up in 2 weeks. And they had all of the coffee out there, all of the varieties, the varieties. If you haven't yet gone to American Pride Roasters and seen everything from Doc Thompson's Uranus Hertz, it's a little spicy. The name kind of says it all. Ron's Sexual Chocolate, which we have in this morning, and it is good. P. Hat Matt's Peppermint Mocha. And the First Thanksgiving Pumpkin Spice. That, by the way, has a couple of 5-star ratings. You're going to love it. Go to AmericanPrideRoasters.com and find out which of the coffee flavors that matches perfectly with you and your personality. It could be the Brandon Morse Code Monkey Bread Blend, even though it's still misspelled on the website.
Or it could just be the Brandon Morse Code Monkey Blend.
Could be.
It could be.
Let's see, there's bread somewhere in there.
And the bread only really shows up for Brad.
Oh, well, AmericanPrideRoasters.com is where you need to go to get the best coffee in this or any other known universe, now or in the future. AmericanPrideRoasters.com. All right. So, Mike, I guess you kind of figured out how we play this little game. Brandon just gave us 5 headlines. We have to decide which one is fake, which one is not real. So one of those is not real. Either the cat food, the oil, the 6 vagina limit, the GOT therapist, the turkey power outage. And here's how it works. You pick one, and then I either piggyback on you or I go with my own. I go my own way. So which one do you think is...
Okay, so the cat food one, you said 2 people got tuberculosis?
His voice is so damn hot.
How do you think... do you think they were eating the cat food, or do you think that
they were eating the cat?
They're making love to the kitty?
I think that realistically, they're probably kissing their cat. Not like making. I mean, like kissing. Like,
but letting the cat lick the inside of his mouth, her mouth, stuff like that.
They just
we all do weird things with our animals when we're alone.
Right.
Wow.
We learned something new about Mike, didn't we? Nice.
The cat. I'm going to say it's the cat one. Actually, I'm going to say it's cat because the 6 vagina limit. I'm sorry. We all have drawers full of that stuff, especially when you've been single longer than 6 months.
Every single one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I
your fiance may not know that. She hasn't found that, but I mean.
Well, she never will.
That one drawer that's locked.
Yeah.
That's where you keep that.
That's right.
And she knows what's in it. She just won't ask.
Yeah.
Brad?
I'm piggybacking.
You're piggybacking today?
The new guy, yeah.
You're piggybacking?
I'm going with the tuberculosis cat food.
All right.
The cat food TB.
All right. Let's see here. It looks like it's all over the board again. Some people think it's the turkey. Some people think it's the cat. Some people think it's the oil drum.
Well, what? And?
It's the oil drum. There really is a 6 vagina limit in Texas.
Wow.
Statism at its worst, Brad.
It really
Statism
is. We're gonna have to talk about that. Man, that is disturbing at best.
Yep.
This is your Daily Mojo.
A free exchange of ideas. Mojo 50.
It looks like you're losing.
I am.
Are you losing weight?
I am losing. I've lost about 10 pounds.
How are you doing it?
It's a funny name, but I've done it with Riduzone, RIDUzone.com, and the stuff works. It's, you get into all that, the molecule this and the found in that. All I can tell you is it makes you feel full, and it keeps your mind off of wanting to overeat.
And also boosts your metabolism, so you're burning more.
Yeah,
try it today. It's going to work for you like it's worked for Brad and countless other people. Riduzone.com. RIDUzone.com. Have you done it? You catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror?
I'm one of those people you don't want to see naked.
Yeah, most of us. But I mean, you look and you're going, what the?
I know.
How did I get to whatever?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible. Hey there, it's Doc Thompson and Brad Staggs to tell you about a different way to shed those pounds. This is brand new tech. It's only been around for a couple of years or so. It was based on research from the University of California that said there's a molecule called OEA that's found naturally in your body. It produces it in the Mediterranean diet, that when taken in concentrated amounts, it will actually make you feel fuller and boost your metabolism.
I've lost about 10 pounds so far.
It's amazing.
It
now,
really is cool.
A company said, we can take this to market and make this great product that'll help you. It's called Riduzone, RIDUzone.com, RIDUzone.com. Brad's worked. It's worked for Brad's, worked for me, countless other people. Go to riduzone.com and try today. You're going to love it. Riduzone.com. Remember that, RIDUzone.com.
I got my
Mojo 50.
I got my mojo working out.
Live free.
I got my mojo working. I got my mojo working out. But it just won't work on you. I got my mojo working. But I just don't know what to do, y'all.
The Daily Mojo.
Let's see what they're saying on the Twitter. Crusader Ball, I bet they made the Game of Thrones TV ending suck so the book could end differently and in a better way. They say he might not even finish those books. I mean, if he does. Wandering Slug. Brad Staggs reminds me I need to buy a turkey so I can collect its bones for an experiment. Well, that's... And DMXDM said, Brad nailed it. There was ever a question. If you have an Android phone, you might have a little problem. Google has barred the world's second biggest smartphone maker, which is, I believe you pronounce it Huawei.
Huawei.
From some updates to the Android operating system. This is part of a government issued mandate, basically. New designs of Huawei smartphones are set to lose access to a lot of Google apps. The Trump administration added Huawei to a list of companies American firms cannot trade with unless they have a license. You know, because that damn President Trump. Yeah. Here's the thing. If you read about Huawei, wow. Let me just say, first of all, Huawei, backing up just a second, China. If you, there's a story on the BBC about the Addis Ababa. It is the headquarters there for, I believe, it's a government entity over there, Addis Ababa. The Chinese are big partners with Africa. They put up a lot of the funding for this building, which is a fabulous building in Addis Ababa. It is beautiful.
Yeah.
I'll bring up a picture of it up here, and if you don't mind, Mike, if you'd take this bad boy full. I mean, look at that. That is the African Union headquarters.
Wow.
In Addis Ababa.
So, yeah, it kind of, yeah. Wow. That's actually really cool looking.
Here's the thing. They say everywhere there are indications the building was made possible through Chinese financial aid. In 2006, Beijing pledged $200 million to build the headquarters. For several years, the building stood proud testament to everything that was close between China and Africa. And then they started noticing in 2018 that the African Union's computer system, like in the middle of the night, was having all of this activity. Oh,
really?
Yes, it's strange activity. You know, nobody's in the building, but all of a sudden, and they discovered that all of this data was being transferred from their computer system to servers in Shanghai.
Really?
So
wow.
The Chinese, yes, had gone in and they had basically set this thing up so that they could use it as a giant spying device.
Wow.
It was also reported microphones and listening devices had been discovered in the walls and desks of the building. Both the African Union and Chinese officials both publicly condemned the report as false, which of course means it was true.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
You
can't believe. Yeah.
At this point, why are you even fronting? I just come out and be like, yeah, we were spying.
The main supplier of information and communication technology systems to the African Union headquarters was Huawei. So
Trump said nay.
Well, here's there are some people who are saying if you have one of these Huawei phones, it'd be listening to you. I mean, we all know Apple phones are already listening to you. So
yeah,
but Apple phones, of course, are tied to a company here in the U.S. If you got a Huawei phone.
The funny part is, though, like with Apple phones, you actually have to agree to allow it to listen to you the entire time. Once you agree with that.
And I make sure that it is with me at the most intimate moments.
That is all.
You want all of me? You're gonna get all of me. You're gonna get every bit of me.
You gotta think, because a lot of people take their phones into the bathroom.
Yeah.
So I just imagine that if Apple is listening to a lot of conversations, a lot of what they're hearing is just fart noises, grunts, and Angry Bird.
Yes. Well, at least they're not the Chinese. So if the Chinese are in fact listening, and they're listening through your phone, here's the thing about we as Americans, we will bitch about Walmart, but then man, look how cheap that cereal is. Chicken too tasty.
At the end of the day, it's really just about who has the best price and can give me the most stuff for it.
Yes. And that's the thing. We are willing to do it. We are willing to take these things from China, even though we know what scumbags the Chinese can be, the Chinese government.
Yeah.
How they treat people like dirt.
Yeah.
And worse. They treat people like Cersei Lannister.
They do. People. They do. Remember that this is the same country that actually implemented a point system. Like the kind you saw in that Black Mirror episode.
Yes.
And to give you a rundown, essentially, if you have a certain number of points on your card, or you get like a grading or something like that in China, you can be like privileged certain accesses or I don't know, like governmental things can.
Yeah.
The government rewards you for being
Yes.
a good citizen, but
Yep.
if you're a bad one, if like you do things like get tickets or speak out or do anything that
don't
displeases the
conform.
government, you have privileges and rights taken away.
Isn't that kind of like a credit score here in the United States?
A little bit.
Well, but the thing about the credit scores, that deals directly with how you handle your money. So
Now it's in China. It's just how the China government handles your money.
whether or not, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Here's the so if you have a Huawei phone, which by the way, I had to go look it up because I've seen the name of the company forever, but I never knew how you pronounced
Huawei.
Huawei, because it looks like Huawei.
Oh, does it?
It doesn't it? Huawei. Doesn't it look like Huawei?
Oh, Huawei.
That's what I just said.
Yeah. Wow.
It's Huawei.
Huawei.
So if you have a Huawei phone, they're cutting you off from the Google apps, and you're not going to be getting the security updates and the other stuff. So I don't know. Just saying, you might want to consider. Google is
Dude,
also.
the Chinese are sneaky, man.
Yeah, they are.
They're sneaky.
Yes, they are.
Gotta watch out.
And there's a lot of them. A lot of them. a lot of them. All right, so now that you're here, we can.
Yep, we can finally do this because we have to talk about it.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! And spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! For those of you who care, for those of you who don't care, you can go listen to Pat for a while.
So yeah, because we have to discuss.
This is the end. This is the last time we'll be able to do this, really.
Yep, that's
and,
true.
Because next Sunday we're. What the hell are we going to do next Sunday?
I don't know, dude.
Mike, you Game of Thrones?
Wash my hair, I think.
Mike, you a Game of Thrones fan? Did you watch it?
Big fan. I'm on episode 2 of season 1.
Then we're about to spoil the shit out of it.
I have social.
You might
I
want
have
to
social media. It's fine. I've seen everything. It's okay.
I was going to say you might want to go sit out and just sit on the banks of the MoJo River out there for a little while and not listen. But
the bears are really nice. Just talk to them for a little while.
Don't try to feed them, though.
Yeah, don't feed them. They don't. They're not. They don't eat the same foods that
they
we
really
do.
don't. This is a disappointing episode. If I can encapsulate my feelings, in a word, disappointing.
Yeah,
sad.
I have to agree. I have to agree with that. But I've been saying this for a little while. Here's the thing. I think that the battle episode with the Night King was very well done.
Absolutely.
Don't get me wrong. It was very well done, but it did not pay off elements that we had been promised. Right? There was the payoff that was promised did not come. All right. Imagine. Here's the entire thing. My point here. D&D, David Benioff and DB Wise.
Yes.
They have been teasing things for a long time about prophecies and hinting at certain characters accomplishing these great and amazing tasks and being the central figures of these storylines and yada yada yada. And then whenever it came for time for these storylines to pay off, they had somebody else come in and do it instead. For instance, Jon was supposed to kill the Night King. We all knew that. But Arya did it instead.
I didn't mind that.
Well, I here's the thing. It was really cool. It was a really awesome scene. Yeah. It came from out of nowhere. I was like, wow, Arya, cool, But at the same time, it really did not pay off the Azor Ahai, prince that was promised.
Right.
That we had been told and we're waiting for this entire time. We were waiting to see Jon come full circle.
Right.
And he just never did.
Not only that, but they just sent him to a worthless destination. At the end, his arc was like, well, hold on. Hey, let me do this justice. Here's the end of Jon Snow's arc.
Accurate.
We're sending you to the Night's Watch. Why is there a Night's Watch?
Yeah, why is there a Night's Watch now?
What are we looking out for?
From what it looked like to me, and this is at least my headcanon. So to give you guys context here, Jon is sent back to the Wall.
For what reason?
Oh, because he killed Daenerys.
Well, no, I got that, but he sent back to the Wall.
Right.
Why is there a
they
wall?
Send him? Yeah.
No, yeah.
And why is there a new wall already?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So my whole entire thing was, all right, so he killed Daenerys, he gets sent north because the Unsullied would kill him if they made him king, which they thought about doing,
Right.
But
because he was made ineligible because of that.
Right, because because of Daenerys' death. But the problem with that is like, what do the Unsullied care? They're leaving anyway to Nath.
Well, I
Isn't
get
that where Missandei was from?
Yeah, Missandei, yeah.
And Grey Worm, he assumed the role of leader of the whole thing at that point.
Yeah,
but Tyrion's right. What, you don't get to decide.
Yeah,
but again, that takes me back a step, and I mentioned this, Ron, earlier. So you have here a character in Dany who could withstand the fires of hell. She could sit in a burning inferno, but she could get stabbed.
Well.
It's one of those I get.
That's one of those
suspension of disbelief.
Here's the thing,
but so could the dragons, Brad.
I guess
the dragons could get stabbed too.
I guess it just seems weird.
I want to say though that I feel like Jon Snow should have died at the end because they didn't. That's the other thing that didn't pay off. It was, oh, he's a Targaryen. He's a secret Targaryen, has Targaryen blood. He's actually the rightful heir of the throne. Yada 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 yada. Okay, cool. Well, now that Daenerys is out of the way, Daenerys the Mad Queen.
Is she any relation to Daenerys?
Huh?
Is she any relation to Daenerys?
No.
Okay,
no.
Checking.
So Daenerys, they gosh dang it, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so so he kills off the Mad Queen, and then it's time for him to become king. That's exactly what we've been waiting for. And they were like, hey, why not Bran? It's just like they spun a wheel and was like, Bran's king now. Bran's king of everybody. Oh, only 6 kingdoms, though, because Sansa's going to take the 7th and make it independent. Okay, cool. Well, that's it. Show's over.
Yeah.
You know, somebody with who's only seen the first episode.
Yeah.
You were talking about Jon Snow's character coming full circle, and thanks for ruining the rest of the series for me.
You're welcome,
I was okay
man.
with it. Yeah.
Told you to go play with the Bears.
But you're talking about he's part of the Night Watch now, right?
Right.
Isn't that what he wanted in episode 1? Was to be part of the Night Watch?
Well,
so technically,
I guess you could be right about that. And here's the thing, though. It is in terms of what Jon Snow would have really wanted. Him going north of the wall to be with the free folk, which I think is what he did. That's my headcanon. There's no more Night's Watch, really. He's one of the free folk now.
Right.
That is the best possible scenario for Jon Snow. However, I think, though, that he is still of Targaryen blood. Technically, the throne is his, you know? And so it made it a little weird. Why didn't they just kill him off? Because that would have been a little bit more Shakespearean. The tragedy would have been a little bit more complete. The Targaryen line, which started all this in the first place, is completely wiped out. There are no more Targaryens. And so instead they let him live, and they wasted time on that, which is like, I don't know, that just seemed a little weird. No payoff for Jon. No payoff, but this is what you have. Imagine that you're having sex, okay? And
hold on, that was I'm
gonna get to my point here. Imagine you're having sex and your partner right before you climax climbs off and goes, all right, subverted expectations, we just had some great sex. That to me is what D&D did here. Okay, they were like, oh, yep, here we go. For 8 years.
Interesting.
We've been going at you for 8 years, promising all this stuff. It's been a thrill ride the entire time. Now at the final season, we're just not going to pay off anything that we've been promising, anything that we've been going for.
Well, to the battle with the Night Walkers, that was pretty epic. A little dark, but epic. And the burning of King's Landing, pretty epic. But everything after that,
but it wasn't earned. Like, I feel like the battle with the Night King, they've been teasing this guy for 8 years.
Right.
He's gonna march over all of Westeros and kill everybody and yada yada yada. He's the huge threat that everyone has to unite against. This is what it's all been building up to, and it all stops in one episode.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people were stunned that it was so early in the season and killed by a 15-year-old girl.
Yeah, from behind.
Right.
Just,
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. Which was kind of cool. But you have to have, what do you do for an encore? That's the problem, is that if that is your...
Well, Game of Thrones could have fallen back on what it always did, and it could have fallen back on the politics, which is exactly what it was known for, the intrigue.
Right.
The action scenes were awesome and stuff, but really at the end of the day, what really got people interested was that who's going to betray who, and why are they going to betray them? What kind of impact is this going to have? Who's going to fill the role that person left? Yada, yada, yada. That was the fun.
Yeah, and the fact that Cersei got out of it way too easy.
Way too easy. Her
crushed by some rocks.
Yeah.
Actually, not even crushed, really just hit on the head, because you notice there were like 8 rocks on top of them.
Oh, yeah, and then you know what else? Like, if you actually look at Tyrion when he's walking to uncover their bodies, which weirdly he just kind of was able to go straight toward.
Right.
If you just look 30 feet to the left.
Right, nothing.
Nothing was falling there. They could have just stood there. It's like, okay, I guess, because I thought the entire castle came down all around them.
I did too.
And nope, just a section of roof that they just happened to be standing under. What the hell, man?
And we didn't even get to see their heads like crushed.
Yeah,
they just looked dusty and asleep.
They just looked slightly concussed.
It should have been his head should have been split in two.
Yeah,
and like her eyes popped out and her ear ripped off. That
kind of
just
that stuff that Game of Thrones is known for.
Yeah, give him a blood and her arm like torn off and 20 feet away and the top half of her body in one place and just really it just looks like they laid down.
Yeah, went to sleep.
Yeah, went to sleep. That's just it was a little too easy.
I like that though Brienne was the person to write Jaime's biography.
Yeah,
and
not let the ink dry.
And not let the ink dry. Although it was kind of.
I think they should have shown Podrick getting knighted though.
They really should have. They
should have.
They should have showed that, and obviously Brienne's head of the King's Guard now, just judging by what she's wearing, and I don't know. Here's the thing that I really did like.
Yes,
I loved the small council meeting at the end.
At the very end.
I want HBO, and I said this on Twitter last night. I will forgive HBO everything if they will give me even just like 15-minute shorts.
That would be kind of fun
of them just having these meetings. That's I would. Yeah.
Well, and the other thing, HBO, and by the way, go ahead and the scene where the heads of all of the houses are sitting around and deciding that it will be in fact Bran who's going to be the new king. Take a look behind Samuel Tarly's left foot up there on the screen, and you will see probably an Aquafina bottle. So, in addition to the coffee cup that they had in the episode a couple of weeks ago, they in fact had a little water bottle behind his feet. I think he figured it was probably his foot was covering it, but in fact,
that took some eagle-eyed viewer to find that.
Yeah, really.
I never would have seen it.
That's the beauty of the Game of Thrones viewers is they are eagle-eyed because they're looking for stuff like that.
Yeah, I will say that.
And it's
well done.
Yes, they didn't. And I thought, and this is what bothered me. On the HBO page, the extras, there are extras on every other episode, but on this one, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. That it was just
it
was over, and then
it's a little bit of a shrug. It's a shrug ending.
Yeah, it's not quite as bad as Dexter.
Yeah,
having Dexter go off and be a lumberjack, but
and he's okay.
Yeah, works all night and he sleeps all day. But the question is, what's north of the wall? What's south or west of Westeros? And that's called the sequel to Game of Thrones coming in a few years.
I know what's west of Westeros.
If you go far enough, aren't you back where you started?
Unless it's flat. You know it's west of Westeros?
What's west of Westeros?
Westworld.
Oh my gosh, what if she... Oh, that would be so cool.
Yeah, you're welcome for that.
Oh, that would be so cool if she shows up in. Oh my gosh!
And they tie the series together. It's like, this has actually been.
Whoa! What if all of them in Game of Thrones have actually been robots
the entire time?
Son of a.
Yep.
Oh, that's genius.
Yep. The entire thing was a big robot play, and there were only a few people there who were.
Oh, Brianna! The people sitting at the council meeting were all the humans. Yes.
Ooh.
Oh, that's genius. That's genius.
I know that the petition to have season 8 redone, which has reached, I think, nearly 1 million.
When we were
last
here
I checked.
Yeah, Friday, wasn't it? Like it was 300 and some. Well, I think we'd crossed over into 400,000. Yeah, now
it's approaching 1 million.
It's
now.
over 1 million.
It is over 1 million now.
So
I know for a fact that HBO is never going to remake season 8. They're not going to do that. I think though that sending that message is really good.
They'll have a sequel.
Because they're going to have the spinoff series, and I would actually, here's the 2 spinoff series that I would like to see. I either like to see Arya's Adventures in the West, because as a kid, one of my favorite stories growing up was The Voyage of the Dawn Treader from C.S. Lewis. It was one of the Narnia books.
Okay.
And I love ship travel, exploration, mystical lands, and, stuff that I love that kind of, I would love to see Arya in this kind of setting.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. The other one is I would love to see the Battle of Ruby Ford, which the Battle of Ruby Ford was when the Targaryens first lost power.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
they fell. They fell to Robert Baratheon and Ned Stark.
And that's probably the prequel that they're working.
The prequel that they're working. I imagine that is. The other one is the Doom of Valyria. I would really like to see how the Targaryens came to power, like what they had to do.
Makes sense.
You know, and they have all they've got. This is a very expansive world.
Yeah.
And people have invested themselves in it. Even the people who are pissed off about the end of Game of Thrones, they will come back. They will come back to watch these sequels, and if they're well done and they keep D&D away from it, it'll be just fine. But there is another petition that has also sprung up now, saying that they want Disney to take D&D off of the future Star Wars projects that they have been hired to do.
Yeah, well,
and I have to agree.
It's not going to happen though.
Why not?
Because these guys come in probably on time and under budget, and that's what it's all about in the entertainment world.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, money. It all boils down to money.
But it just feels like they're poisoning the tree. You know?
Studios don't care about that.
Oh, that breaks my heart. That breaks my heart.
It's all money. It's money. If they turn to profit, if there was, if the bottom line was black,
me,
they don't care. That's my pessimistic take on the world, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm excited for the future still. I still love George R.R. Martin's world. I can't wait for him to finish the books if he ever does.
Yeah, well,
I wish he would before he has like a heart attack or something and dies, and then we're just left with nothing.
Remember, George Lucas said he would never finish the Star Wars trilogy, and if he had just stopped before he did 1, 2, and 3, it would have been fine. But that's the final. Appropriate music too. The close of Game of Thrones. Just
look at that.
Just kind of a letdown last night for Game of Thrones fans. But here's the way I get that taste out of my mouth. I go back and start watching the beginning again.
Mm-hmm.
At least they're all alive and happy, sort of.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of.
To get that taste out of your mouth, here's a story with a happy ending, at least for the elephant. A man died after an elephant crushed him in a rage while allegedly trying to protect her calf from being pelted with stones. This happened in West Bengal, India. Yeah, here's the thing. So this elephant has a baby, a little baby elephant, and it fell ill. It was unable to get up. So the apparently locals in the area flocked to the scene, and they started throwing stones at the mother and the baby.
What the hell, man?
Yeah, exactly.
People are assholes.
Yes, they certainly can be. It's understood the mother had been trying to move her calf to a nearby forest after she gave birth near a dry lake. She's seen kicking up dust and standing protectively over her baby, who she's trying to push away from the onlookers. And she stamps her feet, marks the area, clear warning to stay away, and then some idiot continues to throw rocks and videotape the whole thing. Shaleen Mahoto was killed when the crowd was crushed, basically.
Good.
I know. It's like
I have no sympathy whatsoever for them.
Not even a little bit. Shortly after the attack, 10 more elephants appeared in the area, causing panic among the locals.
That is some.
Cavalry
showed up.
I like elephants.
They're my favorite animal.
They are. Are they your spirit animal?
They are my spirit animal, Brad.
I think that's sweet. No, elephants are really. I think they're cool.
I think they're incredibly intelligent. They're very human-like. They hold funerals. They can paint.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the video of the elephant that paints pictures?
Siamese, New York.
It actually
Tim
and when I
Conway.
say paint pictures, I don't mean like it just takes a brush and rubs it on, the canvas and everything. It creates this like weird modern art piece, man. No, it draws elephants and trees and things like that.
There was an elephant in, I think, Nashville that did that.
Yeah.
I think years ago. I think it was. I think at some point, the Nashville Zoo. I'm pretty sure that they had an African elephant who made paintings. I may be wrong. I may be misremembering.
It might actually be Nashville, but it just shows you how smart elephants are. And they're very. I wouldn't say they're gentle creatures, but you get to know them and stuff like that. You get raised.
They're gentle. They're just like baby Huey. They don't know that I would love him and pet him and make him my own.
Yeah, no, exactly. But they can be very kind and so very human like in many ways. And it just if you throw it, I'm sorry, if you get together as a crowd, you start throwing
You get what you
rocks
deserve.
at not just it, but its baby.
Aha.
You deserve to get crushed by a bunch of it. I have none. I have no sympathy whatsoever for you guys.
That's what Crusader
you got
Ball
what you
says.
deserve.
Says the rock thrower got what he deserved.
Mm-hmm.
Using hashtag what I learned today.
Yeah.
So see, there was a happy end. I promise you
That
a
is
happy ending for that.
Yeah. At
Promise
first,
you.
that was better writing than Game of Thrones right there.
I know, right? And there's news on our gut bacteria. Stress could cause, this is just for you too, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Stress could cause our gut bacteria to turn against us.
What?
Yes. Stress. They've
betray me?
Science continues finding evidence that the bacterial universe in our guts affects our overall health, though big parts of the story still aren't clear. They say new research using mice adds to the intrigue by showing that social stress alters both the composition and behavior of gut bacteria, leading to self-imperiling changes in the body's immune system.
Oh, that sucks.
So every day you need to...
So that's the reason why I haven't had solid stool in like 2 years.
See?
Yeah, see?
All the
That's
stress.
exactly what it is, man.
And
marriage will do that.
If the... Yes, boy. Truer words were never spoken. Never, ever spoken. In the words of Jeremy Hansen, if you are suffering from explosive bouts of diarrhea.
I like the whole thing of, men die sooner than women because men they live more dangerous lives. And
we're given a
they do
choice.
things. And it's like, no. Exactly. That's what it is. The body goes, you know what? I can't take this anymore. I'm out. Peace.
Yeah. If you want to hang around a little while longer, if you're having issues, go to Love My Tummy. It's manly to love your tummy.
Yeah, it is.
It's manly. Go up and blow farts on somebody's tummy. Just go up and right there. You ever done that to somebody at work? I have.
Oh yeah, all the time.
I've done it.
They love it. They love it. Yeah.
I've done it. I didn't even get sent to HR. If you go to lovemytummy.com, you'll learn about Atrantil. Bloating and discomfort are not normal things. A lot of people end up just living with it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Don't just live with it.
Mike, having been married, you know what it's like to live with bloating and abdominal discomfort.
And eating 12 taquitos.
That'll do it
because
too.
of the stress.
Exactly.
You stress eat?
Unfortunately, yes, I do.
Okay.
Have you tried Atrantil yet? We need to get you a
I
bottle.
have not. You know what,
Ron? We need to get Mike a bottle of Atrantil so he can find out if it works for him, because he already knows that bloating and abdominal discomfort aren't normal.
That's right.
That's a sign right there of a smart human. Smart man you are. So if you go to lovemytummy.com, you'll find Atrantil. And wait until you meet Dr. Ken when he's in here. You're going to like Dr. Ken. He's quite the guy.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. He's so occasionally he brings some woman with him.
Who?
Yeah, right. I know, right?
I don't remember that.
I don't either.
I just see Dr. Ken.
Nope. Don't remember her standing right here at all. Lovemytummy.com/mojo. This is your Daily Mojo.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. Mojo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Greg Clugston in Washington. With tensions rising in the Persian Gulf, President Trump has a warning for Iran.
If Iran wants to fight, that will be the official end of Iran. Never threaten the United States again. That's what President Trump tweeted after a rocket hit near the U.S. Embassy in Iraq yesterday, and before an interview was broadcast last night on Fox News Channel.
When I first came to office, one of the first meetings I had was at the Pentagon with generals, and they were showing me the Middle East. And they had 14 or 15 sites where there was nothing but war, problems. Every single one of those sites was instigated by Iran.
While no group has so far claimed responsibility for the rocket launch, Iranian officials say their country isn't looking for war. Matt Small, Washington.
Gas prices have come down a little bit. Here's fuel industry analyst Trilby Lundberg.
Finally, after 16 weeks of prices going up, the average price of gasoline is down. It's down just 3 cents. The new price is $2.93 for regular grade.
The highest average gas price is $4.08 a gallon in the San Francisco Bay Area. Drivers in Baton Rouge, Louisiana are paying only $2.35 a gallon on average. After a weekend of severe weather in several parts of the country, More storms are expected across Texas and Oklahoma today.
It's kind of going to be a double whammy for much of the southern plains and areas a little bit farther to the north up across the central plains as well.
That's Andrew Orson of the National Weather Service. In Louisiana yesterday, a possible tornado damaged or destroyed at least 50 homes. There's been a sharp increase in how state governments are using drones. A report by the nonprofit American Association of State Highway and Transportation Officials shows just how rapidly state governments are adopting drone technology. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395.
Bottom line, if you want to lose weight, go to riduzone.com. That's RIDU zone.com. RidUZone has helped countless people lose weight, and they can help you too by boosting your metabolism and making you feel a little bit fuller naturally. RidUZone.com.
Say what you want to say about Cortez. She's not unattractive. Whoopi Goldberg, ugly as dirt. She one ugly woman. She ugly. Whoopi is jealous.
Making radio great again. The Cartel with Matt and Ron. Weekday afternoon. MoJo 50.
Do you like good coffee? I do. Do you like amazing coffee drops? I do too.
American Pride Roasters, historically great coffee. Did you know if you drink APR coffee or eat APR coffee drops, it will instantly heal any ailment you have?
The legendary Fountain of Youth wasn't just one fountain, but actually many fountains close to each other. Each fountain had a different APR coffee in it instead of water.
Coming soon to APR is Washington, D.C. blend. It is just a bag full of hot air.
APR coffee drops are not just a superfood. They're a super duper ultra mega Doppler food. They are by far the healthiest thing you can eat.
Want to know the secret to what makes APR taste so good? They use the happy tears of unicorns. Go get yours today, AmericanPrideRoasters.com. That's AmericanPrideRoasters.com. Get yours today.
This is the MoJo 50 Institute for the Advanced Application of Freedom. Ya bitches.
The mothership has landed.
I don't know why these things always happen in Britain, but they seem to. A restaurant in Manchester was serving a group of 3 businessmen. They had just ordered a bottle of wine. This bottle of wine was worth $290, which to me is a lot for a bottle of wine. I mean, you can get a 6-pack for a high-end 6-pack for like $15, and that's spending a lot. But so this bottle of wine, $290. Well, they ordered this Bordeaux to go along with their meal at the Huxmoor Steakhouse. A manager visiting from another store and training goes to the back, goes to the wine cellar, as it were, and pulls out what he believes is this bottle of Bordeaux, this $300 bottle of wine, and comes and serves it, comes up to the first guy and takes the cork off, and you smell, which I don't understand. It's like, yeah, it smells like wine cork. Yeah, that smells. I don't know. You should take this back a little. It smells like cork to me.
Yeah.
Turns out, as they poured the wine, that this turned out to be a $5,000 bottle of Chateau Le Pin Pomerol 2001.
Damn!
Oopsies.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. They kind of look alike too. I mean, the bottles of wine. I mean, one has if you were to set these down in front of me, I would not know that. I would say, wow, one has a red foil top and one has a gold foil top. And if they said, pick the one that's expensive, probably the one with the gold foil top, because gold's expensive, right? Yeah, but no, the one with the red foil top, that was the Le Pin Pomeroy.
Le Pin Pomeroy.
Yes. If it's $5,000, you got to say it like that. You can't say Le Pin.
You can't just say
it's Le Pin Pomeroy. Yeah.
So what did they do after that? Like what's the? Obviously, they can't just like cork it back and be like,
no,
psych.
Nope. That's when the restaurant ate the cost of it.
They just that sucks.
What are you going to do?
I guess you can't charge the guy for it.
They didn't order it. They ordered that $300 bottle of wine.
So did they just give the guy that bottle of wine?
Well, I think they had. It was in their stomachs by that point.
Oh, okay.
So they really didn't have a choice. They just hope you enjoyed your wine. And by the way, that was a $5,000 bottle.
$5,000 bottle of wine.
And
I wonder if I would love to have a taste of a $5,000 bottle of wine just so I could compare it to like 14 hands.
I have friends who have thousands of dollars of wine in their wine cellar or their wine basement.
Yeah.
And I was having my friend Mac in Nashville has a lot of wine, and I was talking. He knows that it's wasted on me. It's like, okay, here's a glass. Is this Mad Dog?
Exactly.
Because I like me some Mad Dog.
Is this barefoot?
Because I like that barefoot stuff. He says, you know what? Whatever you like, just drink that. Doesn't matter how much it costs.
That's what I've heard too. Just if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Personally, I go to Kroger and there's a brand called 14 Hands that I love. I think it tastes amazing.
$2 chuck.
Yeah, it costs at best $9. You know,
and I will say that there are some beers that are, you go to a craft brewery and they're like 14% alcohol and they're like $12 for a little shooter. And I'm
no, thank you.
Yeah,
I get more pleasure out of like a $2 Shiner than I do most craft beers.
I'll bet you do. I'll bet you do.
Yeah, it does.
Hey, so it's Monday. What are we ranting about?
You know what, Brad? I have put some thought into what we wanted to rant about. And I got to tell you, I'm not exactly sure where to begin. Do I want to rant about Ilhan Omar? Do I want to rant about Ocasio-Cortez?
That's so easy. Well, hang on. Too many buttons over here. Too damn many buttons.
Too damn many. But I think that one of my, at this point in time, I'm stuck between
two lovers
who
feeling like a fool. Loving both of you is breaking all the rules.
I think that have you seen the new Jim Carrey thing? The new Jim Carrey painting?
I read about it. I think I saw it. I don't want to. I think he's funny, so I don't want to spoil it, but it sounds like you're going to spoil it. So
I am going to spoil it.
Great.
Jim Carrey is known for aside from being a washed-up comedian actor, he's not really that funny anymore. Which sucks because as a kid, I just thought he was the greatest thing since sliced bread. Everything that he did was absolutely hysterical.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Liar Liar. I loved Liar Liar as a kid. Dumb and Dumber. You know, when I was very little kid, I was like, yeah, funny. You know, he's a stupid guy.
Want to hear something really annoying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I know.
That kind of thing.
Yes.
But now what he's known for is being the super huge left-wing activist guy. And the thing that he likes to do is make paintings. He likes to make paintings of right-wing people or left-wing people. And usually he's very kind to left-wing people. But to right-wing people, he is unbelievably horrendous. Some of the paintings that he makes are, I swear, if a right-winger did it, they would be lambasted throughout the mainstream media, forced to apologize. They'd never get work again anywhere. Yeah, they would be considered like, you know, the alt-right supremacists who, you know, do these violent, horrible things and yada, yada, yada. However, if Jim Carrey does it, who is a radical leftist, it's perfectly fine.
Of course.
What he's got going right now, if you go to his Twitter, the latest painting that he has up, it's a picture of Alabama's governor as a baby. For those of you who don't know, Alabama Governor Kay Ivey is a woman, and she's signing into law the legislation that was passed by the Senate, the heartbeat bill, which essentially makes it illegal to abort a fetus or baby. Actually, I'm sorry, I'm not going to use the technical thing. It's a baby. Abort a baby so in the womb, so long as it has a heartbeat. If it has a heartbeat, cannot have an abortion. All right, and fair enough. To that, I say, I do kind of want to discuss more about like the rape scenario thing going on here, but that's a conversation for a different time. right now, they're all blaming white men for the white men passing this legislation when they don't understand that the bill was written by like a woman. It was passed by a woman. Women are driving the pro-life movement. They're completely turning a complete blind eye to women in pro-life movement. Apparently, according to the pro-abortion argument, every woman out there, and they remember, folks, they represent all women. Okay, they all support this abortion stuff. Not true. The primary people in the pro-life movement is primarily consisting of women. But in any case, Jim Carrey, he has decided that because Kay Ivey is going to pass this bill, she's going to sign it into law, that he's going to make a painting of her as a baby. And it says, I think if you're going to terminate a pregnancy, it should be done sometime before the fetus becomes governor of Alabama. And it shows Kay Ivey as a baby in the womb having her brain sucked out with a tube by an abortionist, which...
That's the painting Jim Carrey did?
Yeah, here it is right here, if you want to take a look, Brad. There it is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You should tweet that out. Did you tweet that?
I'm going to tweet this out.
That's, it's a little disturbing.
It's at the What I Learned Today hashtag. So, there it is. All right. So, I'm a little worried and angered because, look, I don't think that I do think that women do deserve a certain level of respect, but I don't just relegate it to women. I think everyone deserves respect. But it bothers me that the left kind of promotes this whole idea of we're the party of women. We are constantly fighting for women. We respect women. We want equality. We want this. We want that. And then the moment a woman does something that is what I like to consider off the plantation,
right?
They just attack the crap out of her. They promote violence. I mean, here he is painting Kay Ivey getting her brain sucked out. Okay, it's insane.
It doesn't seem quite right.
It doesn't seem quite right. But this is how they look at women. This is how women aren't. They don't care about women. What they care about is how useful a woman can be. If they can use her as a shield. That's all this is. Kay Ivey stepped off the plantation. Pro-life women step off the plantation. You leave the plantation, you're persona non grata. They can do whatever they want to you and treat you however they want. And it would be perfectly, they could say the most sexist things they can think of to you, and it'll be perfectly validated in the eyes of the left because, according to them, you're working to harm women, which is really weird. Look at the way that they talk to Dana Lash. Look at the way they talk about her children.
Oh, I know. It's
sick.
It's stunning that they...
I released a YouTube video discussing this very thing about how Twitter just like this is how it happens in the eyes of the left. If you say anything like the stuff that's said to Dana Lash on the right, if you say anything like that, you're suspended. You might be banned. You don't know.
Yeah.
But if you are on the left and you do it to someone on the right,
no, it's a total double
Nothing
standard.
will happen.
Complete double standard. And it's been that way. And they did this, talking about doing that to women. They've done it to minorities. They do it to blacks.
Oh yeah. It doesn't stop at women. It stops at LGBT members. Look at they cannot. Have you ever heard of he's a friend of mine. His name is Bruce.
Bruce.
Bruce on Twitter.
Do you mean Bruce?
Oh,
no,
Bruce.
No idea who
Bruce. So Bruce, my friend on Twitter. He
odd last name. But.
Yeah. He's a gay guy. And he says things that could be considered controversial, but they're only controversial because he's on the right. They ban him all the time. They suspend his account constantly. He's known as Bruce the Gay on Twitter. Right. All the time. He's constantly suspended. This to me, like, it just goes to show you that I've seen gay people talk about how, straight people are horrible and that, they should be castrated. They say it on public TV.
I know some a-hole gay people too, so.
Oh, no, I know plenty of a-hole gay people. But the point is that you can't say it if you're on the right.
No.
Doesn't matter what you are or who you represent, But here's the other part of my rant here. They are doing this in order to defend one of the worst things you could possibly do on this planet, and that is kill an innocent child for no reason.
Right.
All right. And not only that, they're trying to hide behind minorities and stuff like that in order to do it. You know, did you see the tweet that was sent out by that model?
I guess not.
Okay, so essentially what went down was Emily Ratajkowski. I don't know how you pronounce her last name.
Ratajkowski.
Ratajkowski.
Yes.
Emily.
The one that is having she's posing nude to protest the abortion bill. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
that one.
Right. So.
Don't throw me in the briar patch. Please don't throw me in the briar patch.
She decided that she was going to pose nude, and she was going. This is so stupid. I'm sorry. I was so taken aback by it. But she poses nude, which, okay, fine. I don't know. I don't get the idea of leftists getting nude to protest things, but you know what?
Don't say anything, though. Just shut up. Let him keep doing it.
Well, some of them, it's like, dude, please don't do this to me.
Right.
You're not really convincing me of your side. But like in Emily Ratajkowski's case, yeah, in her case, it's like, oh God, no. Right. You're punishing these.
Please,
you're punishing. You're really sticking it to these old white men by getting naked. Oh man, that'll teach them.
She's not real smart, apparently.
No, she's not very smart, and I can tell you why. I'm going to go ahead and give you a window into how not smart she is. With her little nude photo, she tweeted this out. This week, 25 old white men voted to ban abortion in Alabama, even in cases of incest and rape. These men in power are imposing their wills onto the bodies of women in order to uphold the patriarchy and perpetuate the industrial prison complex by preventing women of low economic opportunity the right to choose to not reproduce. The states trying to ban abortion are the states that have the highest proportions of black women living there. This is about class and race and is a direct attack on the fundamental human rights of women in the U.S. Protected by under Roe v. Wade. Our bodies, our choice. So let me go ahead and break down what she said, because I don't even know if she knows what she said.
I'm not sure I know what she said.
Ratajkowski basically said, with all that word salad,
yes,
that black women need to be able, poor black women, need to be able to easily kill their babies in the womb, because if they're born, they're just going to wind up in prison anyway.
Seems a little bit of a pessimistic viewpoint on life.
That's kind of what I said.
Mm-hmm.
I pointed that out to her, and I said, so you essentially just want women, black women, poor black women, to be able to abort their babies, because if they don't, they're just going to go to jail.
Right.
Is that what you think of black people? I asked her. A whole bunch of people jumped on me on Twitter for asking her that question, saying, no, you're the racist one. Well, how am I the racist one? I want black babies to be able to have a chance and to live.
Right.
As you guys know, Planned Parenthood primarily targets minority communities, namely poor, young black women. Okay. I feel like in this day and age, you have people like Jim Carrey, Emily Ratajkowski, trying to defend something that should, for all intents and purposes, be indefensible. That really, at the end of the day, is racist. I mean, look at Planned Parenthood targets young black women primarily. All right? I want these kids to have a chance at life. Most of the pro-life movement is on board for that specific reason.
Right.
Everyone deserves a chance. Life, liberty, happiness. All right? Life.
Yes.
How is it that the left has the cojones to sit and tell me that I'm racist and that they're just helping black people, helping the black community by, A, having some seriously low expectations of them, which in itself is racist. It's like, well, are you poor and black? Oh, well then,
yeah.
I guess there's not really much going for you, huh? I guess you know what? You're just going to fail at life. You're probably going to wind up in prison. You should probably die before you get the chance to prove me wrong.
In the Twitterverse, it's a lot easier to attack you than to try to invalidate your opinion. Regardless of what you actually think, it's just a lot easier to attack.
Oh, no, absolutely. No, you are 100% correct.
Because it doesn't require thought; it just requires feeling.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
You're nothing but a big meanie.
Exactly. Yep. You know, but I mean, the thing is that by doing that to me, they are essentially putting themselves in the position of defending having to kill black people because they don't really think that highly of them. You know, it's like, so it really, at the end of the day,
the racism of a lowered expectation.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. The soft bigotry thing.
Yep.
Really, at the end of the day, it's the Democrats having come full circle.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really consider black people to be anyone in the black community to be worth that much. Apparently, they don't consider them to be worth the effort of trying to see whether or not this black person could be the one who cures cancer, could invent the longer lasting light bulb, could do this, could do that. It doesn't matter. Chances are they're going to wind up in prison, so we might as well kill them first. This is the position currently of the left. This is what they're defending. That's what they have backed themselves into a corner for. And us on the pro-life side defending these black children has apparently to them made us racist. It makes us uncaring of the poor.
There was a billboard here in Dallas. I remember this. It's been a couple of years since I saw it. And I'm pretty sure this is the same one. It basically said, black women take care of their families by taking care of themselves. Abortion is self-care. It's bizarre when you see the billboard. It is stunning.
Yeah.
And when you drive by it, you go, what did that just say?
Yeah.
And it really does. It's a double, triple, and quadruple take because it really is.
Yeah.
Self-defeating.
Yeah.
It is self-genocide.
Yeah.
It's bizarre is what it is.
Absolutely bizarre. I do not understand this la-la land that that the left has invented for themselves. I'm not saying that every side is perfect. Look, I'm not saying that the right has like its absolute thumb on reality. I think that it does trip up.
Oh, absolutely.
Many, many, many times. However, I will say that in this day and age, and this is why I think that Trump 100% is going to win 2020. It's because the left lives in this fantasy land where abortion against a specific minority group isn't racist. It's actually helping them.
Right.
You know, the right doesn't care about the poor because we want to help them get jobs and we want to lower taxes. You know, we're now classist because we want to do that. You know, the world is going to end in 12 years. Just kidding. No, it's not. But I am going to promote the legislation that I created in order to stop this 12-year apocalypse from coming. Like this craziness that is currently erupting. I'm a Native American, even though I'm pure as the driven snow, like white as the driven snow. This weirdness that is enveloped the Democratic Party.
Well, the terrifying thing is not what they come up with to promote. The fact is the terrifying part is the number of people that they get to agree with them.
Oh, absolutely.
That is.
Oh, that's very scary.
That's scary.
That's very scary. But I think that more and more people are starting to wake up to this. I think that there's going to be. I think Trump is going to trounce in 2020, specifically because many people on the left even are going to be looking at the Democratic Party and going, I can't do this. This is crazy. Even Joe Biden, as quote unquote moderate as he is completely caving to the social justice nonsense that is filtering around Tumblr constantly. You know, I just don't see it happening. But I'm sorry, there is no realism with the Democratic Party anymore. None. It's all about anti-Trump. I think that there is a serious derangement here with Trump.
Anything just ask Justin Amash.
Yeah. It's crazy. But anyway, that's my rant. I just feel like this abortion thing has really opened me up to really considering the idea that there is serious evil going on here, like with the Democratic Party. Like, and don't get me wrong, I don't think that everyone suffers from this. I just think that right now, I've never been like, that's the party of Satan. But I'm like, damn, dude.
Wow,
this is some nasty stuff happening.
It's arguable, but then you got to consider the anti-Semitism too that's there. So it's
oh well, yeah, that's also true.
You got to balance the Satan stuff out with the anti-Semitism.
See, it's just like,
I know. Welcome to 2019.
It is gone to extreme, and they are the extremists now, are they not? I mean, this is extremism. This is pure extremism. But the left thinks this is totally normal, and not only just normal, but helpful to society. This is sad.
It's a year when we have agreed with Nancy Pelosi a couple of times, which is really frightening. What isn't frightening is in the middle of the night, you hear a sound in your house. You don't know what it is, but you're not scared because you have the gun box.
I'm sexy and I know it.
Right? I do need to play that because you're right. This is what you hear when you
Wait, Brad.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Here, one thing at a time. Ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yep. All set. Yep.
And
I'm sexy and I know it.
That is the sound of a gun box opening. In actuality, it's very quiet when it opens, but this is what you'll hear in your head every time you open it. You'll open it with that key fob, or perhaps the little card that comes with it, or perhaps the fingerprint identification little reader right there, or the keypad. Any way that you want to slice it, you can open it, and it opens quickly and reliably because that's what when you need access to your weapon, you need it fast. You don't need to fumble around. You don't need to wonder where it is. You need to know exactly where it is and be able to get to it quickly. And when you're not in the house, if your weapon is still in your gun box, you can sign up for alerts that will tell you when your gun box has been disturbed, moved, tampered with. If somebody gives it the stink eye, it'll just about send you an alert.
That's true.
Somebody's looking at.
That's true.
Looking at your gun box.
I just get a text message from my gun box. Hey,
somebody's staring at me.
Hey, so
I feel uncomfortable.
Hey, your wife just came into the room, and I got to tell you, she looked at me with this really weird look on her face,
comfortable.
Yeah, I didn't like it. Can you talk to her?
That's because every time you open it,
I'm sexy and I know it.
Tell you. All you got to do is go to thegunbox.com and look at the different models. You got the 2.0. You have the one that you can take on vacation with you, which is the Echo. I was confused. It's the same as the name of my Amazon. Alexa, order condoms. Yes. Amazon. Or the SK1 Tactical. Did I get him?
There doesn't seem to be any panic.
I got him.
Oh, you got him? Did he get him?
Yes. I got Alexa to do it. Damn it. So go to thegunbox.com and remember to use promo code MoJo when you buy one. See what happens. And when you find out what happens when you use promo code MoJo, tell me. I'd love to know. Thegunbox.com. So many things yet to come. This, of course, is your Daily Mojo.
High capacity, fully automatic, large caliber, freedom. MoJo 50.
One could be forgiven for not knowing every one of the 23 different Democratic candidates for president, let alone their policy positions. But one name that has lived around the edges of popularity is that of Andrew Yang. He's made headlines for his bold thoughts on policy to date, especially when it comes to jobs and the future of the American economy. Yang has repeatedly made the claim that automation cost America some 4 million jobs in the past. He believes that total is what really drove President Trump to the White House to begin with. Given his belief that automation is only going to continue to rise, and who can refute that given the news from Amazon as of late, Yang wants to give every American between 18 and 64 a whole $1,000 per month in UBI. What evidence does Yang point to for this to even work? Alaska's permanent fund. There's just one problem with that. The state paid out just $1,600 per person for the entirety of 2018. That's not even enough to live on in sparsely populated Alaska. Even more troublesome for Yang's Alaskan claim, how does he explain the state having the second highest labor participation and unemployment rates at the same time? As for the national scale of Yang's UBI plan, it would cost about $3 trillion a year, and there would be a 10% value-added tax imposed to help pay for it all. The result? Yang believes the economy would grow between 12.5% to 13.6%. There's just one problem with it all. It's all based on a lie. Yang conveniently ignores that labor participation in 1950 was at 60%, peaking in the early 2000s, and is at 63% today, let alone the fact that factory worker participation peaked in 1943 at around 40%. The reality is we are undergoing a shift, but it isn't something we haven't dealt with before and won't deal with again. I'm Andrew Coppins, and this has been By the Numbers. You can follow me on all the socials at The Coppins Show.
By the Numbers with Andrew Coppins is powered by TarRiverArms.com. They've revolutionized online firearm sales with high-resolution pictures, 3D imaging, and the best prices. How much will you save? Find out at TarRiverArms.com. That's TarRiverArms.com.
The Daily Mojo.
Oh, man, I can't find him now. Over Over on Twitter, they've already come up with some good nicknames for Mike behind the glass.
Mike.
Oh, shoot. And I can't...
Did you lose them?
I did lose them.
It's one of those days.
It is one of those days.
One of those days.
I'll have to admit. So I'll just have to go to some of the other high class and very intellectual tweets coming into us with the hashtag What I Learned Today. MoJo Jedi was raised a poor black child. Said no one near a Planned Parenthood location in a black community. Ooh, that's actually very deep. Crusader Vol. Brandon, you're trying to apply logic to crazy when talking about the Democrats. You just make yourself frustrated when you do that.
I get so confused about how do you just ditch your common sense for party loyalty? You know, I've never understood that. But then I guess at the same time, I've always been more of an individualist. It's one of the reasons why I'm a libertarian. I've always kind of found myself to be unable to just, and don't get me wrong, I'm still subject to the same herd mentalities as every other human, but when it comes to these kinds of things, there's a line that has to be drawn, and this is that line. You know, I worry that, and I have seen this attempted several times, and there are some things that are going on right now that I really thought all of humanity would be like, no, that's freaking ridiculous. For instance, the whole gender thing. You know, oh, well, there's more than one gender. No, there's not. There's two. You know, not 30 years ago, we would have been sitting here going, yeah, that's stupid. You're a crazy person. We're going to put you in the fringe minority of people who are trying to push this absolute nonsense.
Yep.
But, you know, I worry that at some point in time, you know, we're going to have a whole group of people stand up and go, you know what? Pedophilia should be part of the LGBT lineup.
I think they've already made that argument.
Oh, no, they're trying to. They're trying to right now. And Salon would host many articles about it up until, like, Milo Yiannopoulos came out with his story about being touched by a preacher, and suddenly, like, he was trying to defend that.
Isn't that a show on NBC?
What?
Touched by a preacher.
God. You're horrible. Yeah. But then suddenly Salon had to turn around and be like, oh, wait, pedophilia is bad. And they had to take all the articles off, you know. And then, I don't know, I can't remember which other outlets it was. But, yeah, they were trying to normalize pedophilia. I think, though, that at some point in time, with this whole idea of tolerance and acceptance, yada, 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 someone is eventually going to go, you know what? Pedophilia is not a horrible thing. Blah, 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 blah. And then a whole bunch of people, like activists, are going to rise up and be like, you know what? He has a point. And then they're going to start pushing this in the mainstream media and pushing this in mainstream media. And I'm looking at things like, have you ever heard of the drag activist Desmond is Amazing, the 11-year-old? We've discussed him on the program before.
Yes.
Yeah. The sexualization of children is already underway.
Yes.
You know,
that's disturbing.
It is absolutely disturbing. It is 100% disturbing. This should not be happening at all. And yet, here we are. Desmond is Amazing, for those of you who don't know or just tuning in for the first time. Desmond is Amazing is an 11-year-old kid who is also a drag queen and an LGBT activist. At 11. Now, weirdly enough, at 11 years old, I can remember I was more concerned about who was going to go outside and play with me. You know, like hide and seek,
probably a
baseball.
Better set of words to use than that, but yeah.
The entire thing, gosh damn it, Brad.
What if you took an 11-year-old girl and did that? What if you dressed her up as a little stripper?
Yeah, no. Oh, well, you know,
you catch all kinds of hell for that one.
Well, we have we have pageants for that.
The no, I'm not talking about beauty pageant. I'm talking about, I mean, if he's doing the drag show thing, I'm talking about the female version, which would be the strippers.
Yeah.
You dress her up as a little stripper, give her a little stripper pole and all that. I mean, you would catch absolute hell from just about everybody.
Well, you know what? I don't know about from the left anymore. It really depends on which activist group does it. But I mean, like, Desmond is Amazing. He actually did get up at in a gay bar, on a stage at a gay bar at 2 a.m. And danced around in Gwen Stefani outfit to I'm Just a Girl as people threw money at him. An 11-year-old kid. And that's supposed to be applauded. We're supposed to go, yeah, that's so brave and stunning. No! Yeah, I'm sorry. This is the sexualization of children. And I'm not going to sit here and say it's okay just because, you know, the hive mind that is the left says it is. It's not okay. Just like abortion is not okay. Just because a whole bunch of people on the left go, "Yep, abortion is great. I think it's great for women. It's about health care and you know, we need to get rid of those babies before they grow up and become a societal problem." No, that is wrong. That is the death of children. You are killing innocent children. What? Because what? You're a member of pre-crime now from Minority Report, I guess. I don't know. It's just a little odd.
Thought police.
Yeah. But this is the insanity that's happening right now. There is no logic. There is no logic to it. It is what can we do to be at the exact opposite end of whatever Donald Trump says? What can we do to be at the opposite end of whatever Christianity is? Okay? Christianity and Donald Trump are like two of the biggest freaking boogeymen to the left right now. You know, look at the way they look. Mike Pence doesn't have to do anything. All he has to do is just stand there. And people are like, bigot! You know, that's what they do.
Anybody who won't ride in an elevator with a woman.
Anyone who won't have dinner with a woman alone is obviously a horrible person. Or maybe he's just putting himself... Maybe he's like the smartest dude in the room. Because think about it. In the Me Too era... You know, if you have dinner alone with a woman, all they have to do is be like, "He inappropriately touched me."
Billy Graham was the same way. He would not be in a room alone with a woman with the door closed.
Yeah, and
which is smart.
Just smart. It's absolutely smart, especially in this day and age. Do you think that there are women out? Look, they tried to do it to Brett Kavanaugh. Do you think that there's not one woman out there who would like to arrange a meeting with Pence on the pretense of like, I'm going to interview you or something like that? Let's do it over dinner. Da, 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 da. And then she comes back. She's like, Mike Pence tried to rape me.
#believe women.
Yep.
Randy Miller sent us an email over the weekend. He says, "I live in Mulvane, Kansas, small town south of Wichita. School district did not allow the 5 enlisted kids, including my son, to wear their branches stoles at graduation."
Wait, what?
Their branches, if he's in the military, it's a banner
okay.
For their banner of the military. All other districts in the area do allow this. This district also does not allow kids off on Veterans Day. If you could please bring this up on the Morning Mojo, I appreciate it. Thank you for your time. There you go, Randy. It's not surprising. It is. Schools are such different places now.
Mm-hmm.
They're just. I mean, there's not even comparable to what they were back in the day. Hell, not even back in the day when you were going to school.
Mm-hmm.
They were places where you stood up and you saluted the flag.
Mm-hmm.
Were you?
Oh yeah, no. I can remember that as a kid, we'd stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance and we'd say it.
And you get Lincoln's birthday off, Washington's birthday off. Now they've combined them all. President's Day, and it's a mess.
Looking back, though, I can see how like there's some things that they were trying to do to subvert that. Like, you know,
the lap dancing class went a little far, but
well, I mean, I got some valuable skills out of that.
Well, yeah,
some very valuable skills.
You want to earn money? You better learn how to do a few different trades in this lifetime.
Exactly. One of the things, though, was like, remember Animal Farm? Did you ever have to read that?
I can't remember if I did or not. And the beauty of it is I can read it again. And it'll be like, oh, this is a good book.
Yeah, I didn't. At the time when they had us read that as children, and it's about socialism, and how great it is versus capitalism, which is so horrible.
I think I read it,
and like looking back now, I'm like, damn, they've been trying to, they've been trying to put this in on us for a while.
I grew up in the Antelope Valley, which is, it was at least a pretty conservative little pocket within otherwise liberal California. It was during the Reagan years and prior to that. So it was a little more conservative than other places, most likely. So I didn't experience a lot of that, but it's been obviously out of control around the country for many years. And all we could do is keep plugging forward, keep trying. Never give up, never surrender.
Never surrender.
Just some good news.
What's the good news, Brad?
Good news out on the horizon. The original Spice Girls bus has been converted into an Airbnb rental.
Praise the Lord. Is it the one? Is it the same bus from Spice World?
I think it might be.
Oh, I'm in.
Let's see. The Spice it's the band's original Union Jack emblazoned double-decker bus. The interior of the bus has been completely renovated and converted into a rolling hotel room fit for 3 guests at a time.
Mike, I defy you to tell me a better movie than Spice World. Go ahead, try.
Air Bud.
Close.
Oh, there's that.
Close. Air Bud. I would have also accepted Garfield.
Waterworld. Heaven's Gate.
I got to tell you, I think that the Spice Girls were a.
Who was your favorite?
That's not even like
know,
it was
right?
Posh Spice.
Oh,
yeah.
She didn't hold a candle to Baby.
Oh, Baby was just.
Yeah, I tell you, it's.
And there was a spice for everyone. I got to tell you,
it really was. If it didn't matter what your tastes were, there was always a spice to fit it.
Yep, exactly.
And now you can sleep in their bus. Wow, that didn't
come out right.
Really didn't come out right, did it?
Yeah. But yeah,
bring that up. In Sacramento, that's in California.
Where?
California, the bastion of conservatism.
Oh yeah.
Authorities say somebody stole a tripod from a California Department of Transportation crew. You know, one of those tripods you put like a surveying transit on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They then dropped it from an overpass.
Oh no.
Onto a Sacramento freeway. It went through the window of a van and impaled the guy in the lung.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm. Driver of the van tells television station that interviewed him he was on I-5 Thursday morning. The yellow and red tripod smashed through the glass. He says it went through his passenger's lung and then popped back out. The guy survived, but with broken ribs and a partially punctured lung. Now, you'd think this would be kids, you know, if teenagers up there doing stupid things, because we did the stupid things when we were teenagers, but it was a 32-year-old man, they suspect, through the tripod. He was arrested on a warrant, may face a charge of attempted murder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
We used to throw water balloons off the overpass.
Yeah, I feel like that was innocent fun. Now it's like, yeah.
In retrospect, a water balloon can take out a windshield.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It can, if you hit it the right way, we could.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, did you used to put acid in yours too? Whenever
yes,
you
throw them? Because it's no fun if it's just water gets all over the paint. You want to see the paint, and if it happens to get in the window, so you want to see their skin. But as they're driving by,
the screaming is what really makes
it does because we pull out our cell phones and videotape the whole. It was amazing. Now we did. If you hit a water balloon just right on a windshield, it'll shatter it. So that's not a good thing. No, you should never throw anything at cars.
Yeah. Don't do that.
We
PSA.
We used to
tell
the story.
When I was in daycare. I remember this. You know, we had those gravel, the little pebbles. You know,
when you were daycare.
Yeah, man, daycare. I was 15.
Okay.
And no, I was in elementary school, and they would take us to daycare, and this road was right next to the playground. And we had those gravel playgrounds at the time. I don't know if they still have those anymore, but. Yeah, we would pick up the rocks at cars, and I don't know why we thought that we were hidden or that we were safe. But like it was a chain link fence, and we could see the cars coming through, and be like, "Okay, guys, whenever a car comes by, we're gonna throw the rocks at the car."
Right.
And sure enough, we did.
And did they stop and get you?
Yeah.
You mean they could see you through the chain link?
As it turns out, they could see us through the fence.
I've learned to stand so still and move so slowly that I'm invisible.
I've become imperceptible to the human eye. And then I just leap out at you whenever you come. No one sees it coming.
We would stand on the side of the road, and my friend's house was right there, like there was the main road, then there was a little access road, and then his house.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a little kind of a curb that separated the main road and the access road. So we'd stand right there, and we'd throw water balloons at cars. And we do this late on Friday nights, and I remember the AMSOIL van. AMSOIL.
Wow.
Still remember to this day. It was AMSOIL, and we threw and hit the side of that van, and bam, it was loud. I mean, he hit the brakes. He came spinning around that curb. I mean, you don't think vans can move all that fast? Damn, he moved fast. And he came spinning around that curb before we had all made it into the house. I remember I was running. I wasn't smart enough to head for the front door. So I was, I went flying down the side yard, and there was a 6-foot cinder block fence. And I kid you not, I jumped and was over that thing. I think I touched it with one hand.
Really?
Full. I was there. That much adrenaline, just over the top. I'm hiding down behind the wall, and we hear the van stop out front, and the door opens, and the guy walking around, hey, kid, blah, 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 blah. And he comes over to this wall that I've just jumped over. All I see is an arm and a hand and a probably not as big as a machete, but to me it looked like a machete coming over that wall.
Yeah.
Holy shnikes.
Oh, I would have ran
I'm telling you what, Jesse Owens had nothing on me that night. I was a white lightning streak down that road. I could hear the guy chasing me from behind, and he had no chance of catching me. I was white lightning.
Yeah.
I was down that street, and he never did. I think that was the last night we threw water balloons at cars, by the way.
Yeah, like the one big thing that I think I ever did as a kid was
kill that guy.
Yeah. Yes. No, it was like some kind of Mission Impossible thing that we did. So you've ever been to Schlitterbahn in New Braunfels?
Is that Indiana?
No. Schlitterbahn is a water park here in New Braunfels, Texas.
Because there is a Schlitterbahn in anyway, no, I don't think I've been there.
So right next to that is...
Oh, I know. They used it on the Fear the Walking Dead. That was a shooting location.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Absolutely.
So the Guadalupe River flows right next to Schlitterbahn. And we decided, my cousin and I and a few of his friends, that we were going to swim across the Guadalupe River at about midnight.
Sounds like fun.
Sneak into the water park and then steal some of their floaties.
That's a great idea.
And sure enough, we did that. I mean, it was pretty crazy. Like, we were avoiding security guards. Apparently, I didn't realize this, but it was 4 of us. My cousin and one of his friends chickened out, and they just stayed like right at the border of Schlitterbahn.
Right.
But there's no fencing to the Guadalupe River. And so me and his
wanted
buddy,
us not to get in there, they put a fence up.
Me and his buddy snuck into the water park, grabbed I think 3 or 4 of those big floaties. I mean, like the big inner tubes, like the double inner tube and stuff like that. And we snuck back across the river, and we put them in my cousin's pool so that when the next day, when his parents woke up, they come out and their pool is just filled to the brim with
Did they catch you?
Nope, nobody caught us.
See, and you had the disadvantage of having security cameras. See, when I grew up, there were no security cameras. They had stenographers who would sketch you. People just watching, they'd sketch you. You had to stand still so they could sketch your portrait.
Excuse me, sir. Can I just memorize your features real fast while you're committing this crime?
Right.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
So, that was in this day and age of security cameras that are everywhere. You can't go in. You can't do anything underhanded. You can't go out there and be a social misfit without being on at least 100 cameras now.
Maybe that's why the left has gotten so crazy. It's because there's no outlet anymore.
It's pent up aggression.
Pent up aggression. We have to commit some kind of crime.
I tell you, when we threw the water balloons, we had them in the back of the truck in a cooler, a styrofoam cooler.
Oh, you know what would have been better, though, Brad? Is if you actually had not a styrofoam cooler.
All right.
But a cat cooler from catcoolers.com.
We would have been in jail.
In jail?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the thing about it is we would have frozen our water balloons.
Oh, yeah.
And put them in there and they still would have been frozen.
That is true because the cat cooler is so efficient.
It is.
That, you put anything in there, it's going to stay very cold.
Yeah.
And not just for a little while, but for days. Days on end.
Days you can keep. It will keep ice literally frozen for days.
Yeah. It's crazy. It is crazy.
It's
almost like
alien technology.
It's almost like there's like an ice fairy in there that just waves a magic wand.
Yeah. It's alien technology. I'm pretty sure they got this technology from Martians.
I can believe that.
I don't understand how we couldn't possibly have come up with it, on planet Earth.
No.
So I think if you want to microwave the same way, and how the hell did we come up with a microwave?
Yeah.
Come on. Before the microwave, it was like we were cooking over fire.
Like we would stick it on a stick if we knew even to stick it on a stick first. Sometimes we just held it.
Do you notice the microwave just came out of nowhere? Just like one day, all of a sudden, poof.
It is kind of a weird technology just to kind of be there suddenly. Yeah,
it's aliens.
Yeah, no one would have guessed that.
No. And the same thing with the cat coolers. But this is a way that alien technology has wormed its way into everyday life in a positive way. This is one of those takeaways that if you go to catcoolers.com, use promo code Brandon, you can save 10%. And
that's right, folks.
Yeah.
I am giving you 10% off.
You're a giver.
Of your catcoolers.com.
You're a giver.
That's what I do. I'm a giver. Yeah.
Remember, in prison, you just have to lay there and take it. Makes it so much simpler.
That was a left field.
I just way I think when I look at you.
Is that you think about prison sex?
I do.
When you look at me,
Oh.
I guess I'm actually kind of
want to go to lunch.
I guess I'm a little not scared. What's the word I'm thinking?
Terrified?
Flattered. I'm flattered.
Well, you can be flattered if you want to. Let's see. 10 catcoolers.com promo code Brandon. Some of the best and worst jobs of 2019. If you are looking to change careers, perhaps if this is going to be the year that you make a change, a positive change in your life. If you're looking for a new direction, perhaps some of the jobs that you should be pursuing is a data scientist.
A data scientist.
A data scientist. They have an annual median salary of $118,000.
What?
That's almost more than we make here.
What?
I know, crazy, right?
A data scientist.
A data scientist.
What does a data scientist do?
I don't know, but I'm sure I could do it. I know what data is, and I know what scientists are. I'm qualified. Data scientist.
I've seen data before.
There you go.
And I've heard of scientists.
That's it. You're qualified.
I guess maybe I can just,
You're a statistician. That's number 2 on the list. You know, it'd be all right if you didn't have to work with the numbers.
That's actually would be my immediate downfall. It's like, can you math?
No.
And I would say no.
Nope.
I can not math.
Nope.
And they would be, well, this is not the job for you. Perhaps you would like to be a data scientist.
Maybe a university professor. That's number 3
I could be
on the
that.
list. Yeah.
I've seen some of the people who become university professors. I could definitely be.
Not impressed, right? Number 4, occupational therapist. That's where you give somebody a therapy over their occupation, right?
For sure.
I think so.
For sure, yeah.
You could be this is one, but a genetic counselor is number 5 on the list of the best jobs in 2019. That's where you counsel genetics.
I often counsel genetics for free on my
simple.
Yeah.
You make $80,000 a year doing it.
Yeah. I should probably just stop doing it for free.
I would. Yeah, I would.
Genetics have some real problems, man.
Tell
Like
you a
they
story
really
about
needed
free milk and a cow.
Oh yeah.
Saying. Yeah, they have a lot of problems they need to walk through.
Yeah.
Medical services manager at number 6. An information security analyst.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds way too complicated. Mathematician. Nope. Go right by that one. Operations research analyst.
So wait.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody researches something about an operation.
Apparently,
and you
so.
read what they wrote.
Yes.
And then you go, okay, here's what they wrote. You're essentially giving a book report.
Yes. If
off of somebody else's research.
It's kind of like what the Attorney General did with the Mueller report.
Yeah.
And so you read stuff and you give a 4-page report. That's it. They make like
I can do that.
I can do that. That's easy.
Yeah.
Number 10, an actuary. They make $102,000 a year. Actuary. I think that's a person who really is.
I don't know what an actuary is.
It's a person who really is as opposed to a make-believer. It's an actuary. Bottom of the list, the worst professions in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Or in 2019, a taxi driver.
Okay.
A logging worker.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Newspaper reporter. They make 43 and change.
Yeah. I can confirm.
A retail salesperson. An enlisted military personnel person. Wow, they really do get paid chump change. That is a shame.
That is a shame. That's
26 grand.
That's a crime.
Correct. Speaking of correctional officer, $44,000. You could be a disc jockey. Been there, done that. Got the T-shirt.
Why is it that the 2 worst professions are professions that I'm somewhat in relation to? That's so.
Well, there's nuclear.
You were never meant to be successful.
I was never meant to be successful.
You could be you right down there with the worst of them, a nuclear decontamination technician.
Oh well, at least I don't have to.
I think that's what Homer Simpson does, isn't it? Advertising salesperson, and down there at the bottom of the list is a broadcaster. So you've knocked 3 of them out of the park. You should feel really good about yourself today.
My life is a video game on hard mode. Ding-a-ding.
You're welcome.
I'm depressed now. Let's wrap this up.
Probably time to wrap this whole thing up then.
What do you mean it's last call? There it is.
That's it. That's it. That's all. That is the end of Doc Thompson's Daily Mojo. But before we go, as always, let's find out what we learned today. We learned that when we bully others, we're actually bullying ourselves, which is a lot like bullying each other individually. You have to listen to hour number 1 to find out exactly what that means. We learned that Apple knows what it sounds like when Ron poops.
I would actually like to ask Apple what video games Ron is playing on his phone or what videos he's watching.
I know, right? Because I don't know what he does there behind the wall, but it's can't.
There's got to be something going on.
Can't be
What
good.
is your poop activity? Your favorite poop activity?
TikTok.
TikTok. Yeah, there it is, boy. That's my favorite poop activity.
Wow.
This is why Ron and I.
You guys can sit together next time.
I love TikTok.
Yep, it's funny, man.
Bet you do. Finally, we learned that wonder none of us ended up in prison. We should have.
Should have.
Because you just have to lay there and take it.
Yep.
The Brandon Morse over on Twitter from redstate.com, which you should go and redstate.com, find his articles, click. What, if anything, did you learn today?
I learned that making out with a cat can give you some serious cow diseases.
You're better off smoking Camel cigarettes.
That's true.
That's true. Isn't it? It's tuberculosis you get from smoking, right?
You can. I think tuberculosis is more of a germ thing. Like you can get it from licking like a urinal or something.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, you got to quit doing that, by the way.
Why is everything that I like to do bad for you?
You know what? I think that maybe God put us on this earth not to live for as long as we can, but to have as much fun as we can.
And suffer.
Yes. Exactly.
That's what he created marriage for.
I also learned that Texas, as libertarian of a state as it is really, really statist when it comes to the amount of vaginas you can have on you at one time.
Right? I moved here to have an unlimited number.
Yeah, I see. I want to be able to walk down the street with as many vaginas as I can possibly stand.
Where do you keep yours?
Ridiculous. What?
Where do you keep yours?
I have them like little. I stash them all over. Really,
it's handy to have them in different places because you never know.
Yeah, there's one under my seat right here,
snacks.
right now.
It's like snacks. You got to have them in different places.
Exactly. Real Brad Staggs flannel jacket said Brandon needs to practice breathing exercises on the weekends.
It's true.
It's true. Just Peachy said destruction of personal property and the fear of your life, which immediately followed, was an important part of growing up for Brandon and Brad. That's true.
It is true. It's very
true. And she also adds Brandon cans not math. He is gooder at doing the English. It's true. What she says is of the factuals.
Yes. Someday me talk pretty.
I English good. Leprechaun 420 said the bell count for today's show is 3 missed innuendo bells, 24 actual bells, 1 AOC guitar strum.
Crap, they're on
That's not it. There it is, and 0 horns.
And no rim shots?
No rim shots, apparently. No rim
Seriously?
shots or Joe Biden jiggy my hoppers. There it is.
One of those. He put such work into it, I felt the need just to do it just because.
Just because. I do like that one. That's one of my favorites.
Don't forget Uncommon Sense coming up immediately following this program, followed by the Conservative Cartel and many other great programs here at MoJo 50. We'll get to those new numbers, by the way, on procrastination as soon as Doc returns from his Florida vacation. In the meantime, your Daily Mojo is a Ron Phillips and a Smooth Move Mike production. Wherever you go, whatever you do, live by the 5 rules. You'll have a shot of being right and being happy. Good night, Doc Thompson.
Wherever you are!
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Greg Clugston in Washington. Residents in Texas and Oklahoma are bracing for more severe weather today after storms rolled through several parts of the country yesterday. Andrew Orison is with the National Weather Service.
Some of the impacts are going to be essentially thunderstorms.